By the way, if you guys pull the game up in Twitch, if you're following along and you want to see the chat and stuff like that, you're welcome to. My recommendation is that you do the pop-out chat and then drag that over to where you can just see the chat. It's possible that during the course of gameplay, because I'm sharing my like Dungeon Master view for everybody in the stream, you'll be able to see stuff that your character wouldn't be able to see. So if you want to like, preserve the mystery and not like ruin your own gameplay, that it's recommended that you don't look at my screen in Twitch. But the pop-out chat, you could pop out the chat if you want to see what people are saying in the chat, because people in the chat routinely, mock and torment us. So, yeah. I usually don't pay attention to the chat, but what's up, Ben? Penguin Butt?
How do I?
Dumb question. How do you pop the chat out? Sorry.
Same questions.
There's probably a little hamburger ellipses type thing in there.
I was able to do it if you go down to the bottom of the chat, click chat settings.
Oh, chat settings. Thank you.
Yep.
Pop out chat. There it is. Beautiful. Thanks.
Yep, no problem.
Great. Yeah. I can see everyone. Great.
Maybe people will have helpful hints for us.
Maybe they will yell at us because of how dumb we are. We don't know yet.
Go. Run away! Run away!
Look behind you.
How can't you solve this puzzle?
Yeah, I've never done this before. Twitching stuff like that. Yeah.
Same.
You've never done twitching?
I've never been on Twitch. I've watched Twitch, but I've never been on the thing. I've never been on a show.
Yeah.
One of the celebs. I'm just not used to the fame.
Actually, I've been on Twitch once, but it was a French little thingy. But it was actually a similar thing, and I was a sort of bard. It was a Call of Cthulhu, but I was an artist, so pretty much I did everything like a bard, but a Call of Cthulhu.
Nice.
Why did I pick a bard?
So
I like to hurt myself.
So at least a couple of you, this is your Twitch debut. This is the beginning of your walk to stardom and fame and fortune. Very nice.
Penguin, thanks, Penguin Butt.
What did she say?
Everyone but Pickle can be in a TPK. I have to survive, no Penguin Butt said so.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
do you realize that Penguin Butt dies all the time in her games? I don't know if she can be trusted. Apparently she's like yeah, I shouldn't talk bad about Penguin Butt. She might ban me. I'll just stop right there. Everybody's a little bit, all the other moderators are a little bit terrified of her. I'm just throwing that out there.
Just a little bit.
I have
Yeah.
yet to have a character actually die in any campaign.
Oh man. Dang. I feel like I've just been called out and challenged.
Yes. I've had plenty of people die, so don't feel like you need to pick on me. In fact, I've now I have a character died in one game, and then when my other character died in another game, I brought that one over because I loved him so much I wanted to continue to play him. So
That's beautiful.
it was a beautiful moment, but he had this cursed weapon that he had to leave behind, and he's still sad about that because it was deeply ingrained in his psyche, and he still mourns for it.
Oh, your Dungeon Master didn't let you bring the item with you?
Well, no, it was with different games. It was like a totally different game, like a different DM.
Oh, so you re-rolled the character basically.
Yeah, I basically
okay.
just plugged him in another game. Yeah.
But that gave you a really cool roleplay thing, right? If you're mourning for like this magic item that you presumably never had, but some fragment of your psyche is like attached to it for some reason.
Exactly. He was a cleric, so he just had the god send him down to this mission when it was needed. It was good actually, but
yeah,
I do miss my hammer.
Oh yeah, this is not a Curse of Strahd one shot, by the way, guys. Somebody in chat was asking. It's just the artwork I have up because I usually only stream my Curse of Strahd games. If I were like fancier, more professional, I would have done something like artwork. Let's rephrase that. If I had less work to do at all times of the day, I would have had time to give you like a fancy starting soon screen.
Oh, this one's great. It's a great screen. Even if now I can't see it. I have a red bug on Twitch, which every time I put it down, I minimize it, and then I go back to it, I can't see the stream anymore, so I just have the chat. No, I can't cheat. Even if I want to know, I can't cheat. Look, that's the good news.
Yeah.
I literally can't see the stream.
So apparently the new Ravenloft or Curses, I forget what they're calling it.
Van Richter's Guide to Ravenloft.
Thank you. That's the one. That thing right there supposedly is going to include details about 20 different domains of dread, is what I was reading somewhere or saw somewhere. It sounds interesting, but I don't know how much detail they're going to include. But it sounded pretty cool. Because I was I don't know how much is actually going to be about Ravenloft itself. I would imagine they're probably going to give probably an equal sized treatment to each of the 20 domains of dread. I know Ravenloft itself is already, like, the actual Curse of Strahd book has so much information on Ravenloft to begin with.
Yeah.
I was wondering how. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just like, one of my friends shared it, and I'm like, oh, this is coming out. Too bad my group is speedrunning Curse of Strahd.
They're speedrunning it?
They're just really on top of everything, and so they're going from one encounter to the next really quickly.
Okay.
So they aren't speedrunning it, but they're playing efficiently. So
yeah.
So it's turning it to not be as long of a campaign as it normally would be.
Okay. Interesting. You could always just go right to Castle Ravenloft.
Yeah, they could go there, but they're slightly smarter than that.
My players have met with Strahd twice now, I think, and all they manage is passive aggressive comments towards Strahd. None of them have dared to do anything besides steal his chairs, basically.
Isn't that a bit Twitch to start a conflict with the big bad guy stealing his chairs?
All right, I'm gonna start this bad boy up right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream. We have a special program going on for you tonight. I'm going to be running a one-shot D&D game for some of my lovely patrons. And tonight, what we're going to be running is a one-shot called Bertrude's Bazaar of Wonders. Now, this adventure is actually going to be available for my patrons in March. So all of my patrons are going to get this adventure as part of the patron PDF that will be coming out this Thursday. So tonight, you can watch them all play the game, and then this Thursday, my patrons will be able to read the adventure for themselves and use it in their games if they are so inclined to do so. So, yep, that is my intro, and now I'm going to cut back over here to my players, and we're going to start playing this game. So, bam. All right, here we go. Here are my lovely players here, all on screen for everybody.
Ooh.
All right, let's kick this thing off then. So, you guys are an adventuring group. This is a level 3 adventure, so you guys have all rolled up level 3 characters. I don't know how or why you have come together as an adventuring group, but for the sake of gameplay, we're going to assume that you are together as an adventuring group. And you have at least been with each other for a little bit, so we'll assume that you have a little bit of an idea of what each other can do and that sort of thing. And you guys, traveling through the wonderful city of Waterdeep, have come upon a job poster. And the job poster reads off, "Adventuring party Needed to recover stolen statue. Gold reward upon delivery of statue. See Pakamsi at Runes and Relics for details. And gold glittering in your eyes, I suppose, or perhaps a desire for heroics or whatever your motivations are. You guys find your way to the shop Runes and Relics and enter. And within you can see shelves stuffed with a variety of different items, oddities, and other sorts of things. Just a wide variety of different things cluttering all of the shelves. And behind the counter is a tall, lanky man with chestnut brown hair down to his shoulders. And he greets you saying, "Hello, my name is Pakamsi Anapu. How may I help you?"
You're the man who made that announcement searching an adventuring party.
An announcement, you say?
There was something about getting back statues.
Oh, yes, the statue. Oh, please come in. Sit down, sit down. There's nowhere to sit, by the way.
I sit on something precious.
There's a trunk. There's this old rickety trunk off to the side.
I'll sit
And
on that.
You go to
sit
sit
on
on it.
it.
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
sit
no,
on
don't
him.
sit there. Don't sit there. And he rushes around the counter and kind of grabs at you, trying to prevent you from sitting on that.
Well, excuse me, sir. You did say sit down, did you not?
Oh, I did. That I did. I do apologize, but I would not sit there. You've heard tales of the mimic, have you not?
Ah, yes.
Yes, that is not a mimic.
Ah. I make to sit down on it again.
Oh, but this is an antique. If you break it, you buy it.
I'm very light.
It's your risk.
Okay.
You're about to have us working for free.
Okay, I stand back up again.
Now, you all have come here to help me get the statuette back, yes? Ah, very good, very good. Nice, beautiful adventuring party. Now, as I said, I am Pakamsi Anapu. Now, if you would please be so kind as to tell me your names. And if you would, go around and introduce your characters and also just give us a description. Tell us what you look like. Keep it brief, you know, not like a 30-page summary or 30-page, but let's, you know, a paragraph summary. Some folk can go into really detail with their characters, but, you know. All right. So Pakamsi is looking at you very expectantly and very excited. Oh, please, not all at once. I'm so excited to hear you.
Oh, my name is Gildar. I'm a short, stubby dwarf. With a shield and some chainmail on.
My name is Imro. She is a slight, compact elf. Auburn hair, shoulder length, intense eyes. And by her markings on her shield, you can see that she is a devotee of Kellenborg.
My name is Kirurk. I'm a half-orc. For a orc standard, I'm pretty small and thin, but I have some war paintings on my face that shows I'm not as weak as I could look like.
And of course, we're saving the best for last. I am Primrose Goodread, the amazing halfling bard whose songs shall take over the world. Primrose has long brown hair about to his shoulder. He holds himself in very high regard and dresses like a noble, even though it's obvious that he isn't one.
Oh, very good, very good, very good. Now you promise me something, won't you?
Your statuette.
What is that?
Well, I've commissioned several adventuring parties to go off and get the statuette back, and none of them have returned. Now, please, get it in return. That is all I ask.
We shall do so.
All right, well, good luck. Come back
What
when you found it.
Where is it? Do you know what took it?
Oh,
Maybe?
yeah. Oh, yes. I am so sorry. I get so excited. I forgot to tell you. Okay. Now, there is a bazaar. A bazaar is a market. It's not like a bozo. It's like a bazaar, a market. People sell things there. Now, this bazaar is underground. Surface ground. You go down to get to it. And it is run by Bertrude. It is called Bertrude's Bazaar of Wonders. Now, here is the thing. Okay, so business is not always good as it should be, and I needed to pawn a statuette of a cobra. It's a beautiful, beautiful golden cobra. It is a family heirloom, inheritance I get from my grandpapa's papa's weasel. Yes, and anyway, this heirloom was passed down from the weasel, and now I need to get it back. I pawned it, got a little bit of gold to pay off the debtors so they stop bothering me and all that sort of thing. But now you understand, I'd like to purchase it back. Things are a little bit better. I was able to steal, there have been increased revenue from the business, and now I get to get it back. However, I go to the bazaar, I speak to the goblin, and he now wants to charge me an insane amount of money to get the statuette back. He's unwilling to give it back to me for a reasonable price. And so now I need you to go to the bazaar, break it, reason with him, and get it back for me. It's very, very simple.
What's the name of this goblin?
Oh, Eek.
Can you spell that for us?
I'm sorry, what that?
Can you spell it for us?
E K. It really depends on how scared you are. It's Eek or it's Eek.
Okay, Eek with 4 E's. I just want to make sure we don't get the wrong goblin.
Oh, well, I suppose it is possible that there's more than one goblin with that name.
Spellings can change a lot of things.
Yes, he is a very hard customer, bargaining, negotiating. He won't listen to reason.
And how much are you offering us to retrieve this
Yes,
cobra?
of course. Yes. Payment. I shall make you very, very, very wealthy. So, according to my notes here, my bookkeeper has given me exactly what I'm able to offer here. I can give you 200 gold pieces for retrieving the statuette. And I, since I am so kind and so merciful and so generous, I give you a few magical trinkets from my collection too. Just to sweeten the offer, make it a little bit more tempting for you so you don't run off with the statuette on your own and you actually bring it back to me, yes. So, I can give you your choice of 3 magical trinkets off my shelves.
That's awkward, because there's 4 of us.
Oh dear. Well, I suppose one of you will have to die on the mission and then come back 3 and everybody happy. Or perhaps I give you 4.
If we do well, we get 4.
If you do well, if you bring back 2 statuettes, I give you 4.
Sounds like arrangement then.
Very good.
And how much is Eek asking you to pay to retrieve the statue?
2,000 gold pieces? He's insane. He's a little... Oh, I can't say the word. It's a bad word.
So we're saving you 1,800 gold. That sounds like a really good deal for you.
Oh, but these magical items I'm going to give you, they're very good. You
Can we
cannot-
see one?
Oh, they're all around you. It's a shop full of wonders.
Okay. Imril goes to the nearest shelf and sees if she can identify any magic items.
Same.
right.
Kirurg is going to go around and fiddle with everything he can touch, just putting them everywhere.
All right, you go over and start fiddling with things, and nothing that you fiddle with feels magical. And Pakamsi comes rushing over. Oh, don't touch them! Don't touch the things! You're going to break them! Oh, no! Don't you see the sign? Don't you see the sign?
I didn't see the sign.
There is no sign. Right there! It is an invisible sign. It says, "Do not touch."
You
It's
know,
magical.
if your
You
sign
see?
if your sign was visible, it would help a lot.
Ah, but
to
it's
respect the
magical.
sign.
No. It's proof. It is proof of the magic herein that I have an invisible sign.
Sure.
Ah, yes. Actually, all that you see here are merely, how do you say, representatives of the actual magic items which I keep in a safe house. Yes, so that thieves cannot plunder my shop.
That is really good thinking.
I very smart.
Where is your safe house?
I don't know why you would need to know that information. I can tell you how to get to Bertrude's Bazaar of Wonders.
That sounds good.
Okay.
He proceeds to tell you about a special tree located just outside of town. This tree has a false door built into the trunk of it that, when slid aside, reveals a hole with a ladder that leads down into some underground caverns. And I must say, as you approach this tree, just be very, very, very careful. There is a secret word that you must speak before you open the door to the tree, otherwise bad things happen. You know, people get throat slit. They're guardians, basically. So make sure you say the secret word. Once you say the secret word, you can open it up, go on down into the tunnels down below. Now, I do want to emphasize that once you are in the tunnels, there are special markings in the tunnels that will lead you inexorably to Bertrude's Bazaar of Wonders. And once you arrive there, well, then you'll just have to figure things out. You look very intelligent. I'm sure you'll be fine.
What's
Excellent.
the password?
What password?
The word so we don't get hurt when we open the door.
Oh, the secret word. Oh, yes, the secret word. I know I have it written down here somewhere. Oh, dear. My handwriting is so bad. Nying? It is a goblin. It is a goblin word. It is the goblin word for gift. I think it is nying?
The goblin word for gift?
Yeah, do any of you speak goblin?
I do. Emerald
do.
does.
Okay, you can confirm that the goblin word for gift is, pieing. And I just put it into the Roll20 chat.
I see it. Okay.
So I believe it is nying, mying, guying.
Is it pieing?
Oh, pieing. Oh, strawberry rhubarb is my favorite pie. I don't think you should go pieing, though. It is very bad. It's like egging, only worse, because egg, not a big deal. You waste a pie, that is somebody's meal.
That's very good advice, Mr. Anapu. Do you have any other advice?
Don't get this guy started.
I mean, specifically for
He
the
says
mission.
a whole lot and says a whole lot of nothing.
I'm not talking about life advice. I'm talking about, like the goblin, Eek. Is there anything that would be helpful to us if we knew something about him?
Oh, well, he is very short. He has green skin, and he has sharp, pointy teeth. He has some goblin assistants, and he operates a pawn shop. And
Okay.
he is very unreasonable. He likes to argue a lot, and he is just a very, very mean person.
Fantastic.
I'm happy to help. Would you like to know about anything else now?
Think I'm good.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get out of here.
Oh, very good then. Thank you so much for offering to help me. And if you survive and have the statuette, please come back and I will give you a reward.
One last question. How much is
yes.
the statuette worth?
Oh, it's probably not worth a whole lot, in all honesty. Probably worth about, I don't know, 25 copper pieces?
Oh, I see. Just sentimental value. I
It's
understand.
purely. I told you, my great grandpa's pet ferret weasel just passed it
Primrose
down.
walks out of the store while he's telling the history again.
All right, so the group leaves the store. It sounds like. And traveling to this tree he mentioned. Stand by. You come upon the tree. It stands before you. It is a large willow tree.
I say the word pieing in my best goblin.
And I will check to find the hidden door.
Now, when you call out pieing in your best goblin, do you say it loudly or softly?
Softly.
Softly? Okay.
So the tree can hear me, but no one else.
All right. The tree is swaying. Its weeping willow branches are swaying in the wind. It seems to acknowledge your whispered password. Kiruk, as you approach, the tree continues to sway in the wind. You get next to the trunk and you begin to search for the secret door. Please give me a perception check. You search all about the trunk and find nary a secret door.
I think I have it, guys.
Perhaps you're at the wrong tree.
Ah, sorry, didn't get it right.
I give the tree a hug. I grew up in the woods. I am of the woods. I try to understand what the tree is feeling right now.
Elves.
You give the tree a hug. Are you actually doing some sort of like communing with trees or something?
No, it's just, good old tree hugging.
Okay, you begin hugging the tree. Imril, you hear a raspy voice from above you. You idiots! It's on the other side. Holy crap! Glancing up, Imril, you can see in the shadows a monstrous face looking down on you with scorn on his face. Give me a hot second and I'll show you an image of what this creature looks like. What was this again? There you go. Similar to that.
Where are we looking? Sorry.
This is a creature up in the tree. Up in
No,
I'm sorry. Look at roll
It's on
20.
roll 20.
Look in roll 20 in the chat.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yep, roll 20 in the chat. This is a creature up in the tree in the shadows. It's hiding up there, and it just told you to look on the other side.
Thanks for the tip.
He told
I
you.
say-
He told you in Goblin, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks for the tip, I say, and I sidle around the tree. I try to catch the eyes of my fellow adventurers and point around the tree.
All right.
Follow.
Eric, do you want to look on the other side?
Sure.
Primrose is going to go look on the other side
All
of the
right.
tree.
Give me a perception check, please. You are unable to find anything. You spend a few moments patting around, feeling around, can't find anything. And then you hear from above you in Goblin, "Holy crap, imbeciles!" And then you hear a clamoring sound as one of these creatures comes down, pushes you aside, Primrose, and starts to upbraid you in a language you don't understand. "You idiot! Stupid!" What are you again? You're a halfling. "Little tiny fool! You can't see anything!" And it punches the tree. A door kind of shakes loose and it opens it up. Ah! And then it climbs back up the tree.
Was it speaking Goblin?
Goblin the whole time, yes.
I turned to Primrose. He was complimenting your outfit.
Oh, of course he was, as I am the most beautiful.
Primrose, please take inspiration. And you can see as this door opens, a cavity inside this large tree trunk, about 5 foot square, more or less, and a dark hole in the bottom of it, with a ladder peeking up from it that leads downward.
I start heading down the ladder.
I wanna slide down the ladder, just holding my hand.
So Gildar, you start down the ladder first, and then up above you, Kirk begins to speed slide down the ladder. Gildar, what are you doing? She's coming right at you.
I'm gonna try to do the same thing and try to get down the ladder.
Okay, Gildar, I need you to make an acrobatics check, and Kirk, acrobatics check, please.
Oh, no. Yes, of course.
I think we're down 2 party members.
So, Gildar, you begin climbing down, slow,
to.
methodically, like a dwarf would, and then you hear this shh, whee from above you. You glance up and you see Kirk just coming at you, and you like panic for a moment and begin to start to do the same. You just let go with your hands to grab the rungs, and then she slams into you. Right into the top of your head. Your helmet is knocked free and goes tumbling off into the darkness. It's quite a while before you hear it hit the bottom. Your legs go through the rungs, you're now hanging upside down with 2 of your legs through the rungs. You're kind of dangling behind your knees. And Kirk, you get knocked off the ladder from this impact and go tumbling by. Gildar, you can see Kirk falling past you. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to reach out and grab.
Grab her. Give me an athletics check as you try to grab her cloak. You get a good hold of her cloak. Kirk, you come to a abrupt halt, and your cloak got tangled around you, and you're now being choked as you dangle there. What do you do?
How deep is it still?
Do you have dark vision?
I do.
You do?
I'm an Alpha.
You cannot see the ground, so it is over 60 feet down.
Okay. I'm going to try to swing with the cape to grab back the ladder.
Okay. Give me an athletics check or acrobatics, your choice.
What?
All right. You managed to just barely. You're swinging around. You get one grasp of the rung, ease the cape or cloak around you, so you can finally breathe. And with Gildar helping you, you manage to grab the rungs again and get back on. Gildar, with some effort, you manage to right yourself. Meanwhile, Imril and Primrose, you can see this happening down below you, about 15 feet down. And Imril, you hear above you in the tree. Holy crap. Maybe we should just kill them now.
I turn to Primrose and say, would you like to descend with dignity?
Oh, I was gonna do the flashy option. I'll wait for everyone else to get to the bottom and I'll make my grand entrance. After all, you have to be there to witness it.
Very well. I will climb down the ladder then. And I proceed to climb down the ladder in the normal, accepted manner.
Okay, Kirik and Gildar, how would you like to go down the rest of the way, considering your recent incident?
Yeah, I'm going down normal.
Okay.
I don't know about this crazy person underneath me now.
And Kirik, you are at the bottom now, so if you'd like to do another wee down, you're welcome to.
Well, don't mind if I do.
All right, Kirik, give me an acrobatics check.
I will make one good acrobatic check. I will go down the fullest way ever.
Kirik, Kirik, you let go and you start to slide down. Whee! And something hits your hand. Sharp pain goes through your hand, and you can't help but recoil. And you go tumbling down. Your legs are hitting the rungs. Your shoulder hits the wall behind you. You're ping-ponging back and forth down this corridor. And finally, you feel yourself free-falling. And then there's an abrupt bam as you slam into the ground.
I'm going to break a leg so bad at best.
You take 11 points of damage as you hit the ground. And as you're recovering your senses, you see the world's biggest sliver stuck into the palm of your hand. This massive chunk of wood spike has lodged into your hand.
First I get up. It hurts, but I get up.
And
Worth it!
the rest of you, descending the ladder in a normal means, come upon your companion recovering herself, looking
Himself.
a little bit...
I was trying to say it.
Himself.
Kirik is a dude.
Thank you. I'll write that down.
No problem.
Recovering himself at the bottom, looking a little beat up.
Yeah, when I get down to the bottom, I'm going to walk over and smack him. Serves you right.
Worth it. Totally worth it.
Kellenvor heals you when you're dead, so keep going.
And you guys are in a small chamber, and there are a couple exits leading in opposite directions.
Is there anything just so there's two ways out of here? Did I get that right?
Correct. Yep, there are two exits to the chamber that you're currently in, and they both go in opposite directions.
And is there anything that distinguishes the two of them?
Give me an investigation check as you study each of them. You find in one of the corridors there are some etchings on the wall. They appear to be in the goblin tongue, and they read GBW.
Something Bazaar of the Wonderful. Wasn't that the name? No, it was Bertrude's Bazaar. Gertrude's Bazaar?
Gertrude's Bazaar.
Wait, Gertrude with a G or Bertrude with a B?
I don't know. What was it?
Bertrude?
I could have sworn it was Bertrude with a B. But maybe it was Gertrude with a G.
No, I think it was Bertrude. You made me get up, friend.
Primrose, you are a man of letters. What do you think?
Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. We forgot to have him describe his manner of descent that you would all
Oh,
witness.
my bad.
Yes. So Primrose, doing everything to the extreme, is going to try to slide down this ladder with only holding on with one arm and using one leg to slide down, kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow. And then use the other one to do like some silly hand motions that make him look even more elegant and even more flashy than he's trying to be.
All right. Acrobatics check. So, as you guys are all, as Imril, you're starting to look around. Kirik, you're getting off the ground, and Gildar's down there. You guys see your companion Primrose come sliding down, one hand and one leg, just doing some flashy stuff. Comes down that ladder in style. And Kirik, you can't help but probably feel a little bit of envy, perhaps, at the ease at which he comes down that ladder.
How do you do it so well?
Because I'm just built like that. Of course, someone lower like you would never understand. That is why you're just my companion and you're not great like me.
I will note that for later. I will note that for later. So, do we find a way or... Let's move.
If there aren't etchings on the other wall, we should probably follow the exit that has the etchings.
Maybe they just weren't very good at spelling.
And is there other markings on the other walls? Can I check for other kind of markings, even if I can't read them, at least checking marks?
Yeah, give me a perception check as you look around to see if there are any other markings on the walls.
Finally!
All right, Kirik, you look around, and in the other tunnel, you find etchings on the wall. They are in a script that you do not know.
Imre, what is this?
Let me take a look. Is it Goblin?
It is Goblin, and you see the letters BBW.
This is the one. Bertrude. This is the way.
Then leads away.
No. I think our friend Gildar should go first.
Sounds fine to me.
I'll bring up the rear.
Could I get you guys in your names in Zoom to just add your class so that maybe if you'd like to put your race or your species there as well, that'd be great. That's just going to help me keep them straight, and then folks watching as well. Well, if they squint their eyes, they might be able to read that stuff.
This Primrose.
And you guys begin. Uh-oh, we lost someone.
This Primrose.
Because I have to leave in order to change my name in.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And you guys begin walking down the second tunnel with the letters BBW. And you travel down it for probably about 30 minutes or so. And the tunnel gets narrower and narrower and narrower until it's about maybe 5 feet wide or so. So you don't have to squeeze through. And it's getting lower as well, but it is starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, perhaps, depending upon how you individually deal with claustrophobia and other terrors of enclosed places with thousands and tons of stone above your head that could collapse down upon you at any moment, pinning you
Feels
down.
like home.
I miss the open of the forest.
I also believe this is like home.
And as you come into this area, you guys also notice it appears to be stress cracks along the walls as well. Little gaps and cracks here and there, perhaps made from the press of stone above.
Gildar, does this look dangerous?
Can I do some kind of perception check to see what the stability of the tunnel is?
Yes, let's make that an investigation check, and I'm going to give you advantage because you're a dwarf. That helped you a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Your gut tells you that this is probably, in fact, from the stress of the stone, this area, this tunnel here is probably not super stable, but this is not a super uncommon sort of thing. It takes centuries for unstable tunnels like this to collapse, so there's probably nothing to worry about.
I look at the elf and I'm like, don't worry about it. This is fine. You haven't seen anything yet.
Does the group proceed?
Well, we better get through here quickly then, I say.
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving.
All right. What is the marching order as you guys go through that tunnel? I heard Gildar was in front.
I'm in the back.
I'll be second.
Then I'll be third.
Right. The brave dwarf goes first. Imril goes last. And you guys are marching down this tunnel. Gildar, after going for about 30 feet or so, the tunnel getting a little bit narrower, you see a flash of movement off to your left, and something reaches out at you, wraps around your throat. Stand by. Wraps around your throat, and you reflexively yank back and pull yourself away from it, and you can see green hand-like things that have just come out of a crack about 4 inches wide, not very wide at all. These things are very pliable, and they have barbs at the end. They look like hands, but they have barbs covering the ends of them. They just tried to wrap around your throat. Imril, you can hear this commotion toward the front, and you see a flash of movement as well off to your side, and something comes out of a crack at you. You jerk back reflexively and are also able to pull away before these things can wrap around you. And now I need everybody to roll initiative. Let me pull you to a different page as well. Stand by.
Nasty business.
And I'm going to draw the tunnel here for you.
Reminds me of the old Cocteau, Beauty and the Beast. The walls like that.
Oh, should I have selected my token? Sorry.
Oh, yes, you do need to select your token first before you roll.
Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't D&D Beyond, but...
All you guys can see are the hands, these spike-covered hands that are coming out of the wall at you. I put these tokens down on the map just so we have a representation of them, but all you can see are these green hands currently trying to throttle you. Pull this up. Oops, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's probably the one. Yeah, giddy up.
So I'm actually at a 9.12 on it. I'll just edit.
Oh, here. I have... Get rid of some of these. And let me get my guys up there. And after being shocked and surprised by these things, the hands come at you again, Gildar, trying to find your throat. Dang. They make 2 more grabs at you, Gildar, but you're able to thwart them off and not be entangled by them. Your gorget, though, has scratch marks all over it where they've been clawing at you, trying to get at your throat. Imril, these hands come at you again. Whew. This time, they manage to wrap around your throat, pulling you tight against the wall. Your body slams against it, and you can feel the hands tightening and squeezing and twisting. And you, sir, take a total of 8 damage, and you can feel sharp spines beginning to embed themselves into your throat. Gildar, you're up.
I am going to take my axe out and take a swing at those hands.
All right. Hacking at the hands. Oof. Solid hit.
It's going to be 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. You lop off one of the arms, and from inside the crack, from deep inside the crack, you hear some sort of fiendish howl of pain, you presume.
Well, if you leave me alone, you can keep the other hand.
Is that all, sir?
That is all.
Imril, you're up. Why did I not sort it? Oh yeah, I did. Proceed.
So I can see the creature because I can see the hands. Is that true?
You can see the hands coming out of this thin crack, probably about 3 or 4 inches wide. Deep inside the crack, you think you see something moving about in there, but you can't.
Is it enough to cast a Toll the Dead?
Yes,
I
you
have
can
to see it.
Yes, you can definitely target whatever's in there. Yes.
Oops.
I failed my save. And you hear from inside. And the hands tremble and shake and pull back inside the crack. They're just very pliant, almost as though they're boneless. They shrink down and pull inside that crack.
Can I shift to the other side of the tunnel and put up my shield?
Yes, yep. You can squeeze against the other side of the tunnel a little bit, putting up your shield between yourself and the unseen attacker.
That's it.
Kirik, you're up.
Can I still see part of that creature?
You can the one that was attacking Gildar up here. You can still see one of the hands outside of the crack.
And the one behind by Emerald?
That one has withdrawn completely into the crack next to
Withdrawn
him.
completely. So I will try a chill touch to grab the creature's arm. No touchy. No touchy.
Okay. Chill touch. Make the attack roll, please.
It's a good roll.
It is.
Oh, nice.
Damage could have been better, but it's decent. At least a touch.
All right. You can see just a little tiny patch on the arm. Gets blackened a little tiny bit, and there's a sound from within the crack, kind of like a.
Feels weird to be grabbed back, huh?
And Primrose, you're up.
Okay. Can I stab through the crack with my rapier?
Through the crack with your rapier, you could. Which crack are you going for? The one next to Emerald?
The one I'm closer to up here.
Oh, that one up there?
Mm-hmm.
You could. You're going to have to squeeze a little bit to get next to Gildar since he's standing there, so you'll attack at disadvantage.
Okay. Can I see into the crack from where I am then?
From where you are? No, the angle's all
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay. Then I will attempt to attack with disadvantage then.
All right. You go to stab your rapier, hit the solid stone wall next to the crack. Your rapier bends a little bit before rebounding.
Okay.
Is that all, sir?
So it's just which one of my friends is the one that's gotten hurt?
Imril, down here, got hurt.
Okay. Then I'm going to give him a nice. How injured do you look, Emerald?
Well, I certainly took a solid hit, but I'm still okay.
Okay. Then I'll just use a first level healing word
All right.
on my
Much
bonus
obliged,
action.
sir.
Nope. Didn't need the second one. I rolled extremely well. Okay, and that will be my turn.
All right. Bard sing songs the healing word your way. And we are at the top of the order here. One of these creatures seems to have withdrawn inside the crack. The other one has lost an arm, but is still going after Gildar. Feel free to discuss.
Shall we move on as quickly as we can?
That is probably the best idea.
Yeah. I'd say not stay too close to walls a bit. That might not stay an option for long.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I can fit within here just fine.
Maybe it'd be good to. Maybe we should drop prone. If the cracks are high, maybe we should just fall on our front and crawl along the floor.
The cracks stretch basically from ceiling to floor. There's cracks all along it.
Okay, then I'll scratch that.
Oh, that was a good idea.
All right.
Let's just hurry and be on guard. Be very on guard.
All right, top of the order then. Gildar, this tentacle hand that's still out exposed reaches forth, trying to wrap you up again. Get two of those. Ah. Oh, that's a critical hit. This wraps around you, clamps over your throat, and spikes sink in to your jugular. You take 6 plus 7, 13 points of damage as it wraps around you, and you are grappled and restrained as you are pulled up against the wall. And then that hand begins to squeeze and wrench and constrict, pulling in on your throat, cutting off air. And stand by. Oh, you can no longer, because of this critical hit and how hard it's squeezing you, you can no longer breathe or speak. It's totally cut off your windpipe, or constricted it, closed it. And as it continues to squeeze, you take another 12 points of damage, Gildar.
Wow.
This thing has got you pulled up against the wall and is just squeezing your head off. How is Gildar? How are you looking for your companions here?
Oh, I'm freaking out. This thing's got me around the neck. My face is turning a nice shade of purple at this point. Yeah. I would be screaming, but I can't breathe or talk.
And Imral, from that crack near you, 2 tentacle arms shoot out, one coming directly at you. And you manage to get your shield up just in time as it scratches and tries to grab at you, fending it off. And then another one darts at you, Imral. And again, batting it away, fighting, you manage to hold it at bay and are not caught up by these horrible little tentacles. Gildar.
You're lucky.
Gildar, it is your turn, sir.
So I'm restrained, which means I can't attack at this point, correct?
You can attack, it is at disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right. So what are you attacking at? The hands around your throat, hacking at it?
I'm trying to go for the point to where it starts to come out of the wall.
Okay.
So I'm not cutting at my own neck.
Okay, so you have to scrape behind your back, basically, to try to hit that sucker. Because it's got you pulled up flush against the wall as it's strangling you.
Okay, then scrap that. What I want to do is try to flex really hard and jerk myself forward to see if I can't get whatever's behind the wall to hit it and release me.
All right, give me an athletics check as you flex your dwarven muscle. All right, you push away from the wall with all your force, and this hand rips off. You can feel it taking some of your skin and flesh with it, but you manage to escape the grapple. That was your action to do that. Would you like to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna move further down the hallway.
That would provoke. Are you okay with that?
No, I am not. I cannot take that kind of damage again.
I just realized, you guys, I didn't put you all in squares, so let me just adjust you really quick here. I'm going to adjust everybody so we're all in squares. There we go.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna have to hold.
Okay.
That's gonna be my turn.
Gildar is holding his ground, standing his ground against the strangler from the wall. Imral, you're up. This thing is going at you. You've just managed to keep these hands away from your throat.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to disengage and. So wait a minute. Let me ask a question before I do that. Are there cracks like all the way up and down this hallway?
There have been, yes.
Okay, forget that. I'm just going to toll the dead again. I know you're trying to lure me down the hallway. This time it has damage.
Let's see if they do wisdom save. Ooh, 8 damage. I have taken damage already, so I get extra, I believe.
I rolled a d12, which I think is what happens when you have damage. So
Got it. Thank you, sir. You hear hissing and spitting from inside that crack. The hands are flapping all around, slamming against your shield, knocking you back against the wall. And then there's this... The hands go limp and are dangling out of that crack, not moving. And my cat is excited.
I have 35 speed of movement. Can I make it past my companions to here?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You would need 40 feet of movement to get there.
Okay. Then that's it for me.
Oh, wait, you have 35?
Yes.
Oh, you can just get there, actually. Yep, you can just get there.
Okay.
Yep. This is little guy. Little guy's over here.
Pardon me,
complaining.
excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me.
Little guy.
The
And
little guest.
Kimra. Kyruk. You're up.
I will. I will ray of frost the arms at Gilda, trying to make it go away.
All right. Attack roll, please.
On it. Oof.
Your Ray of Frost hits Gildar directly in the chest, and it ricochets off from his breastplate. Gildar, you can see ice clinging to the front of it and a chill seeping into your chest.
Honestly, are you trying to kill me?
Honestly, did you try to aim in the thing like this? Sorry, but still.
And Primrose, you're up.
Okay. My companion is very much injured, so I'm going to use a second level cure wounds on them.
On Gildar?
Yes.
Okay.
And then my bonus action, I'm going to use Mantle of Inspiration, giving you 3 the 5 temporary hit points, and you each can move up to your movement speed using your reaction without provoking opportunity attacks.
Okay, so
Nice.
the 3 of you then can right now use your reaction to move away if you'd like, and it will not provoke.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
What happens when I reach the end of the hallway? Keep going.
You run into an invisible wall, and you're like, I can't go any further! Ah! Stand by. I'll draw it a little bit more. There you go.
I'll go here.
All right. Gildar's moving away as well. And Kirk, did you want to move?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Following to 1, 2, 3, 4. I had my speed around there.
Probably as far as you can go. It's difficult terrain. To
Yeah,
move
I
through
think
somebody
that's
else.
about it.
All right, so your companions run down the corridor, getting away from these murderers, leaving Primrose all by himself with one very angry creature still alive in this crack. And did you want to do anything else, sir?
Nope, that's my entire turn.
That's his turn, and we're at the top of the order. Would you guys like to discuss really quickly? We're still in combat, and Primrose is all by himself right now.
Shit. Forgot about him.
Better put them halfling feet to use.
Yep. Let's hold here and see if we need to go back and rescue him. If not, we can perhaps keep going.
Yeah. Solid plan. We stay around just in. We stay around in case, and when he's back with us, we go back
Yep.
to our such.
All right, Primrose. This tentacle whips around, feeling around, and you can see a little head squeeze out of the crack. It's like very, very small, like very thin, and as it comes out of the crack, it expands wider. And you can see these eyes looking around, teeth and things. I'm going to show a picture of this creature in Roll20 as you guys get a little bit better look at it. And it's looking around a little bit. Its eyes spot Kirk, and then it turns its head and sees you, Primrose, and its mouth widens into a hideous snarl, and the tentacle arm bursts towards you. Just managing to miss you as you duck to the side. It snarls and swipes at you again. This time, its tentacled arm wraps around you, and its hand, covered with spikes, clamps on your throat and begins squeezing. You take a total of 12 points of damage, and you can feel barbs piercing your jugular. And you are now grappled and restrained, and it jerks you closer to it, up against the wall, and begins to squeeze.
I'm grappled and restrained. Do I still have? Can I still speak?
Yes, you can still speak.
Okay.
And breathe.
Joke's on him. He didn't. If you let the bard speak, it's too late.
Gildar, you're up. You now see your halfling companion in the similar predicament that you just were.
I'm going to come down to him. 10, 15, 20. I'm going to grab a hold and see if I can't wrench him free from whatever this is.
All right, grabbing a hold of the halfling and just pulling.
Yeah.
All right, Gildar engages in a tug of war. Please give me an athletics check. And you manage to pull the halfling free with a ripping sound as this hand and the barbs on it take away part of his flesh. But you managed to get him ungrappled from this thing. That was your action. And he is free now. Anything else, sir? I would, since you're already grabbing him to remove him from there, I would allow you as like a bonus action to kind of get a good hold of him, and then you could use your movement if you wanted to move away. You would be provoking from this creature,
Would he be provoking as well, or would
No.
it just be me?
He wouldn't, just you, since you're using your movement.
All right, I'm going to try to do that.
All right, you begin to try to move away, and this thing's head swivels and hisses at you, and it swipes at you, not wanting its meal, victim, something to get away. Where's my thing? There it is. Oh, gosh. As you try to take the halfling away, its hand slams into your throat, kind of a almost like a monk strike, and then grips your throat and begins to squeeze. You take 13 points of damage as barbs sink into your jugular. And Primrose, you are dropped from your companions' would-be rescuing grasp. Gildar is now grappled and restrained.
Is Gildar still up?
I am still up, yes.
He's still up. Probably not looking too good, though.
No, not at all.
And Imral, you're up.
Well, I head back down the hallway. 5, 10, 20, 25, and I'm going to toll the dead.
Toll the dead.
I mean, it's working for me, so... He's injured, right?
He is, yes. And the head. And Gildar, you are getting jerked and yanked all over the place, back and forth. And then you feel the grasp around your throat loosen up and go limp. The arm flops to the ground, boneless. The head also goes limp. Appears that your attacker, this creature in the crack, has been defeated. We are no longer in combat rounds for the time being. What would you guys like to do?
Get out of these hallways?
Yeah, and we need to get a mostly secure place to get some of us patched up. I'm looking at Gilda things.
Yeah, I'm going to use a second level cure wounds myself.
Okay.
An attempt to make myself feel better. And then I will use how badly injured does the dwarf look?
He's definitely not moderately wounded. He's pretty close to dead.
Okay. Then he's going to get cure wounds as well. Oh, well, more than one cure wounds because there we go.
All right. I'm going to get up and immediately start muttering about how 200 gold is not worth this and it's only the beginning of this adventure.
Also, I do want to remind you, Gildar, you did have that 5 temporary hit points from when I gave them to you.
Okay.
How long do those last?
I think temporary hit points generally last
Until short rest?
that sounds about right.
Also long rest.
I think
Yeah,
it's a short or long
long
rest.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't give me a specific time.
So Gildar,
Yeah.
when that thing strangled you that last time, it would have the 5 temporary hit points would have come off first, and then the
Right.
rest would have been applied to your normal. So yeah. All right, folks. So we're in these tight tunnels with many more cracks. You're patched up a little bit. What would you like to do?
Let's keep moving before we get attacked by something else.
Let's
Keep a
move
wary eye
quick-
out for cracks.
And let's move
Very
quickly
right.
this time to try to not have this happen again.
So I heard keep a wary eye, and I heard move quickly. Those are both opposite sides of the spectrum. You can't do both.
Move quickly.
Move quickly.
I'll give up the looking. Just run.
Get me out of here.
Okay,
I don't have.
Kirk.
Some of you must have some trenching weapons, some blades, stuff like that. I don't have one, but some of you must have some blades or daggers and stuff like that. If you run those by the walls, it will limit some cracks. The closest thing close to your necks. If you roll that, if they try to get you guys with the daggers, your daggers will cut them away. Protect yourself with your shield, your daggers, anything that would make them regret trying to grab you.
It's
Won't
like
cover
trimming a head.
everything, but at least protect your neck. Because they seem to like grappling that way. And this way we can move quickly without being too wary.
Right. So the party, it sounds like, is now trying the bum rush strategy, barreling as quickly as they can down this tunnel in the hopes that nothing will be able to grab them.
I don't trust that the dwarf
You make
can
it sound-
make it quietly down the tunnel.
Yeah, there's nothing quiet about the door.
You make it sound like a really good choice, Luke, the way you described it.
Well, it could have been this. The group cautiously and slowly and carefully goes crack by crack, inspecting each one.
3 hours later, congratulations, you finished the hallway.
All right, so you guys are bum rushing down this hallway. I need each of you to give me either an athletics check or an acrobatics check. Ooh. Oh, look at all those super high rolls. Wow. All right, you guys are just careening down this hallway, and every so often, a tentacled arm reaches out. Another one goes for you, and you guys are ducking and careening and going. By pure speed and recklessness, you guys manage to avoid the choking hands of at least half a dozen more of these creatures. And you get through this narrow area and into a much larger chamber that no longer has cracks along the walls.
When we get to the opening, I'm going to start panting horribly, terribly out of breath. Really, really cursing the shop owner at this point, talking about how we're definitely getting more than 200 gold.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Magical item.
I think that statue may be worth a lot more, and maybe we should just keep it. Let's see what it looks like when we get it.
Well, do any of us have any skills on identification? Obviously, I do because I'm perfect at everything. But do any of you?
No, we will rely on you.
Oh, of course, as you normally
You
do.
know you're the star of our show. You know it.
But maybe in the bazaar there should be someone who can tell us the value of it.
Humility?
But
What's that
could
word
we
mean?
Could we trust them?
Sure.
I know I can read people like a book, so if I say they're fine, then obviously they're fine.
Obviously.
Did I hear, Kiers, did you say rest? Is that what you said?
Did someone say rest? I don't know.
I
I'm
think
a
Kirak
poet.
suggested it a while ago that we rest. But
I wasn't sure if I heard let's take a rest or not. I just wanted to ask.
Kirak, did you suggest it?
From
I
the-
suggest eventually, but I didn't
Okay.
suggest right now.
Okay, understood. Just wanted to confirm. All right, so you guys are in a chamber, and there are a couple exits.
See if we can find some more of those markings.
Or if you're good at looking at stone, go look at them.
Yeah, same.
And look
Okay.
for the BBW marking.
You guys go up to these two tunnels, and one of them has both of them have markings. One of them has more of these cracks running along the inside of it, and there are 4 letters spelled out. Gildar, not Gildar, Imral there in Goblin. The letters are D-O-O-M in Goblin.
It's hard to tell whether it's just saying the word doom or whether that is just an acronym for something. I wonder what the other hallway has to offer.
The other hallway has BBW written on it.
I vote for BBW. The one that said doom is the one with the cracks, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's good. I don't want to see any more cracks.
Yeah, enough cracks.
All right. The group proceeds down the hallway labeled BBW. There's a tunnel. It goes to some more chambers and tunnels, and you follow along for probably about 45 minutes or so until you come into a large open cavern. At the northern side, you see a 15-foot wide tunnel that leads onward. 4 red-skinned humanoids in armor and 2 hunched creatures covered in fur stand in front of the tunnel's entrance, watching you. And I will throw into Roll20 images of what these creatures look like. Stand by, please. So the red-skinned creatures in armor, you've seen these before. They are similar looking to the ones that were up in the tree guarding it. And then the other ones look kind of like that, only they're holding bows in their hands. And they're standing across the way, just watching you. They appear to be guarding this large tunnel. This tunnel is larger than other ones you've seen before.
Imra will approach until she's about 20, 30 feet away and say, which way to Bertrude's Bazaar?
Through the tunnel here.
May we pass?
It's a silver piece each. It's a cover charge.
Very well.
How about I play a song? Wait, are they saying this in common or goblin?
He responded in common. I don't know if
Okay.
you've spoken.
I spoke in Goblin, but it looks fine. Yeah.
He responded in common.
How about I play a beautiful song for you instead?
A song. Beautiful song. Well, let's see what you got.
Okay.
So you're okay. You begin playing. What kind of? Are you singing a song? Do you have an instrument? What's going on?
I'm going to be singing and playing. I believe I have a lute on. Yeah, singing and playing my lute.
Okay, strumming your lute and singing. Now, this is a beautiful song. Is this kind of like a romance song, a battle song? What kind of genre are we talking about?
I know goblins, so I'm going to make it extremely it's going to be sounding beautiful, but it's going to be really gruesome about murdering and stealing and burning people.
Okay, excellent.
Gotta know your audience.
And quite quickly, you have all 5 of these creatures tapping their feet, bobbing their heads, and going along with it, smiling. The red-skinned ones are clapping each other on the backs. A couple begin singing along as well as they begin to catch on to the tune and the lyrics. And as you finish, one of them comes over to you, claps you on the shoulder, and says, "Oh, you're pretty good at this." That's still a silver piece. Appreciate the entertainment, though.
I give him 4 silver.
Puts it away. It's good. It's a good one, short one.
It was very good. So we come in.
Yeah, and they gesture to the large tunnel behind them, and they allow you to pass. Oh, I'm sorry. Before they do so, the one that just congratulated you, Primrose, says, "Oh, I almost forgot." And he reaches inside of his like armor, and he pulls out a rumpled piece of paper, and he straightens it out a little bit and wipes a little bit of food particles off from it and some other stuff, and picks a hair that was stuck to it, and then he hands it over to you, Primrose, and says, "These are the rules. Don't break the rules." And you can see written on this paper 5 rules. And I'm going to post these into the chat. The rules are: no fitting, don't be a stealer, no Brecken stuff, you buy it, you keep it, keep your mouth shut.
I'm going to ask him Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, if we're to keep our mouth shut, how can we talk to the shopkeepers?
They look at each other. One goes over and starts whispering to the other. He shakes his head. Give that back! And he takes the piece of paper back, and then he carefully rips off the bottom part of it. And he hands it back to you. The 5th rule has been ripped off from the piece of paper now. There!
All right, I'm going to start heading down the tunnel.
All right. Gildar heads down the tunnel.
I suggest that he should give us a silver piece for improving his rules.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Okay. Never mind.
Well, hold on. Let me make his roll. Oh, I love continual improvement. This is beautiful. And he pulls out 4 silver pieces and puts them in your hand and says, "Y'all's going for free this time. Thanks for making things around here better. Bertrude's gonna be very happy."
A silver saved is a silver you have.
If you say so.
Primrose is going to start muttering under his breath in halfling about how his beautiful song about violence and gore didn't get us for free, but our cleric who just brought up an inconsistency did.
I pat you on the back. No one appreciates an artist, Primrose. It's true.
I know that song would be a hit in my tribe.
And with your...
I follow Gilda.
And you guys
Too.
begin going forward through the tunnel, and after a little bit, the tunnel opens into a large cavern. And I have moved you to a different map and roll 20. You guys all should be able to see a little bit of it, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys come through an entrance here into a large cavern, and just above the entrance, you can see a banner depicting three gold coins on a field of red. And before you lies a massive open chamber with many different levels created by the natural stone formations. High above the ground level, wooden pathways and bridges link across from one end of the area to another. So these are the wooden bridges that are linking about throughout this cavern. And various vendors with their own stands are scattered around the many different areas of the chamber. A dead giant slug right there, with a shell adorned with ropes and tarps, fills a large portion of the center of the ground floor. The beautiful sound of music and singing echo through the bazaar, as does the garble of voices from the many vendors and customers that fill the area. Across from the tunnel entrance is a signpost that holds a large map of the bazaar, showing all the services the market has to offer. A torn piece of parchment paper is pinned to one section of the map and has open lot written across it. A very short, green-scaled humanoid is standing near the entrance, welcoming customers and pointing them in the directions of some of the vendors. As you come through the entrance, it looks at you and says,
Hello! How are you doing today?
Fine, you.
I'm doing okay. My feet kind of hurt. I've been standing here quite a while now, thank you.
Job, huh?
this is what the creature looks like, only he has green scales.
And, hey, you know what? I need to take a pee break. You think you can cover my spot real quick?
Sure. Don't be long.
I want the little one.
He's pointing at Primrose.
He'll be happy to stay if you can point me in the direction of Eek's shop.
Oh, you're looking for Eek, are you?
Yeah, 4 E's.
Oh, so it's Eek, not Eek.
Yeah, sorry
What?
for accent problem. Eek.
Well, you know, we've had about 5 different vendors here with the same name. So the number of E's is very important, you understand? You know what? How about you just take this map right here?
And it reaches into a pouch, pulls out a little parchment, and hands it over to you.
This is a map of everything Bertrude's Bazaar of Wonders has to offer, and it's very, very nice around here. If I might give you a suggestion, do you see up there?
And he's pointing up at all the catwalks up above. You can see some of these red-skinned creatures. Not the red-skinned creatures. Those fur-covered creatures that had longbows that you had just seen in that previous chamber. It looks like 4 of them are on patrol up along those catwalks up above the bazaar. Those catwalks are like, you know, up high above that gives them a vantage point over all the different vendors that are in the area.
Yeah, well, they shoot first and ask questions later, so I'd be on my best behavior if I were you. The whole thing about no fighting and no stealing, yeah, I would not do those things. It's very bad around here. And then, here you go.
And then he gives you a map. And I'm going to give you a handout in roll 20. So you guys can all see the map of the bazaar. And there you go. So in roll 20, you should all now be able to see that map. It has the basic labels of the different vendors on there. And the kobold tells you that if you have any questions about the vendors, he can give you a quick overview. Or you can go look for yourselves. And he's like shifting from one foot to the other, clearly has to go to the bathroom.
Before you go, I was pretty sure the rule said no fitting.
It's no fighting.
I think you should go check with those guys at the end of the tunnel.
Why?
Because they showed us a rule piece of paper with rules on it. It was very clearly written, no fitting.
No fitting? What the heck does that even mean?
Well, I assumed it means you couldn't try on any of the dresses.
No.
Oh.
No fitting means they can't make the dresses fit you. You can try on the
Right.
dresses.
That's right.
But that-
Primrose is right.
Well, that's not gonna work. How are people gonna buy dresses?
Well,
Beautiful suits like mine.
I guess they just have to get lucky the first time they try it on.
Oh,
Or you buy it and you terror it yourself, maybe.
oh, Bertrude's gonna be very mad. Okay, I gotta go talk to them really quick before we all get in trouble. Okay,
He goes up to Primrose and he hands you a stack of papers.
okay, I need you to stand here and welcome all of the customers and give them a map if they need one, okay? Okay, I'm trusting you to do this, all right? Can I trust you?
Of course. Who wouldn't trust someone as beautiful as me?
All right, so Imrul, I need you to make a persuasion check, and Primrose as well, please.
guys. You better not screw me over. Do you know how many jobs I've been through in the last week?
And then the little creature scurries off down the tunnel, and you can hear him shouting,
Hey, morons! You spelled the word wrong!
as he runs off. And he's gone now, and you are now in this cavern. What would you like to do? You can see vendor stalls throughout parts of the area. There are different levels and obstructions and stuff, so you can't quite see everything, but you definitely see this slug here has a vendor stall. You can see another one right here, and there is a group of, it looks like, guards right here. There's a couple of these red-skinned fellows with swords, and then what looks like a wolf that they have with them. And they appear to be just standing there, keeping an eye on things, just guards, keeping the peace sort of thing, making sure that there's no fitting.
Well, I couldn't help noticing on the map that Eeks is in the top left. It's only got 2 E's, but I think it must be our man.
Well, if it is not our man, you must know where our man is. You must have that confusion very often. You must know where they are.
And that one's we're looking for a pawn shop, and that's a pawn shop.
So, are we all about business, or are we taking the day?
I have a job to do until that guy gets back.
let's not screw that guy up. Apparently, he's been through a lot. Let's try to at least make his job right.
I take the papers from Primrose, the maps, and I'm like, you go do the talking. I'll stand here and hand stuff out until the little guy gets back.
I'm going to try to keep them and say, no, if anything, it should be my beautiful face. That's the first thing they see when they enter here. Any bazaar would be blessed to have me as their entry boy.
That is definitely true. I think you found your calling, Primrose.
Suit yourself.
While you're doing that, maybe the rest of us could go and check out the giant slug.
Sure. At least we stay close from you.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Okay. Primrose, feel free to position your token where you would be, and the rest of you can move along and reveal stuff on the map as you go.
I'm going to check out what's under this awning. Is that an awning with stuff in it?
Yes. As you go by this awning right here, as you go by that one, you guys can see what appears to be a gnome in that right there. And there is a large orc doing business with the gnome currently. And there are 3 orcs nearby as well, all talking. Oh, the 3 ones are just kind of standing there as the larger one talks with the gnome. And the gnome is haggling back and forth with the orc. And then you guys come up to this awning right here. And I'm going to unveil a little bit more of this map. And there are stairs right here that lead upward to another part of the cavern. And then the stairs also lead to this side right here. And another vendor has been revealed right here. That vendor, you can see what looks to be another gnome standing there in robes. And there are a bunch of vials on the shelves behind him. And the giant slug vendor, you can see a makeshift door has been carved into the side of the giant slug's shell. The slug appears to have long been dead. And a stall covered by a large tarp sits just outside of the door. Boxes are strapped all across the shell of the slug, and even more rest in piles beneath the tarp. Various liquids in bottles of different shapes, colors, and sizes line a table under the tarp. And Behind the table, you can see a large creature. And I'm going to show you a photo of that creature. Looks kind of like that, only with purple skin, or purple fur, I should say, over her body. Definitely appears to be a female of this species. And next to her is a massive white wolf. Far larger than a human, probably twice as big as a person. And this wolf is lying next to this table, eyeing you with red eyes. And this purple furred creature smiles at you, sharp teeth protruding all at different angles, and says, "Hello, how may I help you?"
What is it that you're selling?
"Ah, I sell poisons."
Oh, thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good day. They're good poisons. They kill people.
We are looking around for learning about what is where. If we need poison, we know where to come.
Very good then. Enjoy your stay at my bazaar.
Oh, I turned back. Are you in fact, Bertrude?
Yes, I am. And she smiles at you with these big crooked teeth.
Well, let me just say, this is the most wonderful bazaar.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I gone to a lot of work here to make sure that we have all sorts of vendors to help people find just what they're looking for.
Very good security system you got there too.
Yes, we tolerate no transgressions. There are many, many dead corpses piled out in the tunnels of those who thought that they could steal from us.
What are your security guards? I haven't seen such excellent guards before.
Rabid gnolls! Rabid! As part of the interview process, we do lots of saliva testing to make sure that they're rabid.
That's very innovative.
Yes, we use gnome alchemists for the testing. We spare no expense to make sure they're as rabid as possible.
How many do you employ?
I feel like you're trying to suss out the guards without her catching on to it. So
Yes.
give me a deception check, please.
We need Primrose. Primrose, where are you?
We have four of the hobgoblins specially trained for murder, and 2 wolves to sniff out thieves. And then up on the catwalks, we have 4 gnolls, extremely rabid gnolls.
Oh, is this one of the wolves? And I point to the big white wolf.
And the wolf perks up, looks at you, growls. "Oh, no, this here, it's a winter wolf. It's breath. Well, besides stinking, is as cold as the winter. And it's not rabid. It's a good wolf."
May I pet him?
May I too?
You can try.
If you
After
want,
you, Kiruk.
I'm gonna just
give me an animal handling check as you approach the wolf to pet it.
I'm not going to stick the hand first directly. I'm first going to approach from away, calmly. I'm not going to barge to the wolf's
Okay.
space.
Okay.
Going slowly, tasting the water. Tasting the waters. Didn't go. Shit. Good thing I precise and was testing the waters.
So, Kirik, you walk along carefully.
I don't know why he made it twice. Got the first one.
You walk along to approach the wolf, and as you approach it, starts sniffing.
Got it.
And you can feel cold air washing over you.
Getting back away quickly.
And
Sorry.
you back away.
You're not
Can I
in
tr-
mood.
No. Can I try and? I'm sure I have some rations or something. Can I try and pull out some jerky or something like that and try to make friends with it?
Okay. Give me an animal handling check with advantage. All right, you toss it some rations, and it gobbles them up, and it just looks at you, Imral, and then settles back down on the ground.
Bertrude, what is your fine wolf's name?
Oh, the name? I call him Cold Breath.
It's a well-fitting name.
I took a long time thinking about that name.
Well, it shows.
Primrose, as you are standing at the entrance there with your papers, greeting customers, one customer comes forward. Big, fat, massive creature, some 15 feet tall, big, huge belly. I need food!
Let's see.
What do you mean, let's see? Where's the food? And it reaches out towards you, grabs you by your tunic, easily lifts you up in the air. Why? Is it your first day? Where's the food? And it begins shaking you a little bit.
I'm going to pull out the map and then I'm going to point to the top right at Garbus's Exotic Eats. There's a food good, sir. Sorry, I just had to remember. Sometimes I'm so busy. People ask me all kinds of places. So sometimes I forget the exact name. So I just wanted to make sure I give you the exact answer, good sir.
It looks at you, and then its tongue comes out. As it stares at you for a moment. I could use a snack.
Well, good sir, that is, as far as I know, that is our main food place.
Oh, I'm looking at another one.
I'm going to say that if you decide to eat me, you will die 100%.
Please give me an intimidation check. Its laughter is cut off in midstream as it sees the serious look on your face. This giant's face goes pale. He lowers you down to the ground, releases you. I'm sorry. And then it thunders off. Boom, 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 boom. And it's barreling right at the rest of the group. And it goes up these stairs right here toward the eatery that Primrose just directed it to. Well done, Primrose. You've just handled your first customer. And at that, the kobold comes rushing back down the chamber. And...
Well, how'd it go? Did you do okay?
I think I did splendidly.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
he takes all the maps back.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're very good.
Of course.
And he reaches out and pats you on the head.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to leave then. I'm going to go try to find the rest of my party.
Yeah, they're just around the corner. You can see them from where you are.
Oh, cool. Then I'm going to go join the rest of my party.
Okay. And you see, as you join them again, you see Emerald just having given some of these rations to this wolf.
Interesting choice. What did I miss?
We're trying to pet the wolf.
Now, do you want some of these potions?
I'm just gonna walk up and pet the wolf without doing anything special.
Give me an animal handling check. You walk up to that wolf, begin petting him, and the wolf is... He seems quite content and nuzzles his snout against you. Primrose, it's worth noting that you could almost fit in its mouth whole.
Yep.
Bertrude, you said potions, but I thought you sold poisons, or are there other kinds of things as well?
Terminology. Yeah, they're poisons.
Okay. But does this place behind you, and I point to the other stall, do they sell potions?
Yeah, That's a Wycoop. He sells elixirs and scrolls.
I'm gonna go check him out, but have a nice day.
Thank you.
She gives you a nice toothy smile as you guys walk away, or at least one of you walks away.
I'm going to join him after I finish petting this massive doggo.
Okay. You finish petting the doggo and go to walk away, and the doggo opens its mouth, its tongue comes out, gives you a big ol' slobbery lick, Primrose, from kneecap to nose, and you're covered with quite a bit of saliva now.
Understandable.
Looking good, Primrose.
I typically have this effect on people.
Gildar, what would you like to do?
Bertrude on you?
I'm going to look at Bertrude and say, we've actually come down here to talk to one of your vendors, Eek. I was wondering if you knew anything about him.
Which Eek?
2 E's.
Or ease.
Wait, what?
Eek with 2 E's.
No, it's equal 4 ease.
We've had lots of Eeks down here, and lots of them have run off. We have one now. He runs the pawn shop.
Do you know anything about him other than that he runs the pawn shop? Could you possibly give me some of that information?
He's a goblin. His green skin. He has a couple goblin assistants. He sells stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I have his social security number too if you want it.
I don't need that.
Okay. I have other PI&I as well. It's personally identifiable information. I have his whole file, but it's private. But I'll tell you anyway if you want to know.
I would
want
like
to know
to
the
know.
good parts. Yeah.
I have his tax returns. He doesn't pay capital gains taxes.
Shame on him.
None of us do.
Aim
I think the
on
gig's up.
us.
I'm just going to keep moving in the direction where the shop was located on the map. So
Okay,
off
so
that way.
Gildar is heading over that way. It sounded like Imral and some of the others were heading over to the gnome potion vendor.
Not me.
Seeing Gildar's movement, I'm going to follow Gildar.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go to the gnome potion vendor.
All right. I'm going to unveil parts of this map, and then we'll go to that gnome potion vendor first, and then we'll cut over to everybody else as they travel along. All right. So as everybody else heads off toward Eek's pawn shop, Primrose goes to the gnome potion vendor. Stand by.
Someone used up all my spell slots earlier.
Someone.
Someone. I'm not naming any names, but he was just a tad taller than me and decided that he wanted to get strangled worse than me.
That's fair. Before you, you see a male gnome wearing robes that are a bit too big for him, with hair sticking out at all angles, and he's fidgeting with his hands and waiting anxiously as customers pass by. A shelf that holds glass bottles of varying sizes sits behind him. As you approach the stall, he says, "Oh, hello there. How can I help you?"
I'm looking for your finest potions. I'm heading into battle.
"Oh, the finest potions? Oh, lots and lots of potions here for you, good sir." And he says, "Well, I have 2 potions, actually."
What are they?
Oh, yes, of course. One of them is a potion of poison, and the other one is a potion of animal friendship.
How much are they?
Well, the potion of poison is 200 gold pieces, and the potion of animal friendship is 400.
What if I play you a song?
A song?
Yes, a song.
In exchange for the potions?
Yes.
I'm not so sure that's, that is to say, no?
But what if I give you the song? So that way you can use the song to attract more customers.
I'll tell you what, if you play the song and I get a customer to buy one, then, I'll give you a 10% discount.
30%.
Make a persuasion check. $25, and that's it.
Deal.
All right, so you begin strumming your lute and singing a song to help persuade customers to buy potions and scrolls. Make a performance check, please. All right, you're singing quite lovely down there, and a woman with a cowl pulled up over her head approaches, and as you peer under her cowl, Primrose, you can see a multitude of snakes writhing about in place of her hair. And she looks at you and smiles, a forked tongue flicks out, and she looks over the gnome's wares, and they begin haggling a little bit, and she buys a potion, smiles, and walks away. Well, that's pretty good. All right, then, 25% discount. Now, she bought the potion of poison, so all that's left is the potion of animal friendship.
Cool. I'm going to follow her. I'm
Okay.
going to leave him. I don't have enough money to buy the potion anyway. I'm just going
Okay.
to leave him and go follow her.
Okay, you follow this snake-headed woman off.
Yes.
Okay. She
And
is...
then I'm going to try to lay some moves on her. Got to find the love of my life.
Okay, she is heading up this way right here.
Guess I know where I'm going then.
Let me find a token for her really quick, since you have taken a liking to her, it sounds like. I'm just gonna use that one. It's not exactly what she looks like, but it'll do. And I'm gonna reveal this upper area here as you guys... She travels up this way and you follow her. And feel free to go up there with her, and then I'm gonna cut back to the rest of the party over here. So there are some steps cut into the cavern that lead upward to a raised area up here. So feel free to move your tokens up there. There are 3 vendors' stalls up there. You can see the map label. This one here is, oh, come on, baby. Eek's Easy Pawn. This one right here is Marianne's Music. And you can see a creature in this stall right here. Stand by. Let me get you a little thing here. She looks like that. And in Roll20. And she is playing a lute and singing a wonderfully beautiful song. This is the same song that fills the entire marketplace, the bazaar. And beside her, behind her in her stall, you can see a variety of different musical instruments hung up. And this stall over here, you can see another creature. Stand by. It looks like that. And she is in a very dry voice, hawking her wares. She's selling glorious deeds. And behind her, you can see odd items displayed as trophies hanging up in her stall. And before you, in the stall that you had come to, Eek's Pawn Shop, you can see a small creature, green skin, teeth, and large floppy ears, and he's wearing mismatched clothing that looks quite awkward on him. And there are several goblin small creature helpers nearby as well, the same sort of creature. And as you approach that stall, he smiles at you, Gildar.
Ah, good. Looks like we finally found you.
You found me?
I'm hoping...
What are you looking
I
for
am.
me?
I was. We have been hired by a person who apparently sold you or pawned a small statue. And we're here hoping to bargain to get it back for him.
Is that a fact? And as you look, so this is the very fat goblin, and he is sitting on a stool in front of a table, and next to him there are 2 scrawny, malnourished goblins. And items currently for pawn are displayed on shelves running along the back wall. And a metal cage bolted into the stone wall covers the shelves to protect the items on it. 2 large doors in the front of the cage allow access, but they are secured by a heavy padlock. One of the most prominent pieces displayed on the shelf is a shiny golden statue that resembles a coiled cobra. There's also a massive 2-headed humanoid standing next to you, admiring some of the wares. And this fat goblin, as you say that you're looking for an item, he looks back into the cage at this large golden cobra, smiles and says, You did you?
I did.
Very well. It's 4,000 gold pieces.
4,000.
It is a statuette of amazing power. Great power, much power. And worth a lot of money.
What kind of power does the statue have?
Oh, you name it.
No, you name it. You said it had power.
This mysterious power.
Can I roll some kind of a check to see if he's totally talking out the side of his face?
Insight, please. All right. Yeah, he's totally making crap up. you definitely get the sense that this statuette's probably not worth 4,000 to begin with. Looking at it, can't be worth 4,000. It has no magical powers whatsoever. He's simply inflating the price. Understood, Imral.
Yeah, that's definitely not magical, nor is it worth 4,000. I'll bet you that's probably just gold plated. It's probably copper underneath.
It's not copper plated. It's an insult.
Well, I didn't say it was copper plated. I said it was gold plated.
Well, it's not gold plated either.
Pretty sure remember the first owner of it said it was worth around 25 copper pieces. Is everything in your business also worth 25 copper pieces and sold, or what you said, gold pieces?
4,000.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Is it worth?
No, I have other things. For instance, I have a wonderful painting here. This is
Worth.
50 gold pieces. And here I have some spiked boots, 200 gold pieces. I have a helm, 500 gold pieces. Oh, and this helm can make you fly. And when he says that, this large two-headed creature standing there to the side that was looking at these items pushes aside Gildar, comes in front and says, "I've always wanted to fly." And the other head says,
Yeah, flying is fun!
and the goblin states 500 gold pieces. And the creature just shakes its head. "That's a lot!" And this creature has a large sack attached to the side of its belt, looks in, pulls out a big handful of coins, puts them on the table. "That's about 500. And then ties the sack back up, puts it next to his belt. The goblin counts them out. And he takes out a key, opens up the cage, pulls out the helm, locks the cage back up with the padlock, and then gives the helm to this two-headed creature. And the two-headed creature puts the helm on, stands there for a moment. "Hey, I can't fly! It's not working!" And then the goblin explains that he needs 2 of the helms to fly because he's a two-headed creature. And the goblin doesn't currently have another helm. The creature gets very, very sad and wanders off, crying. The goblin turns back to Gildar. "Oh, sorry for the interruption. Just have paying customers, you know."
Can I follow the two-headed creature?
Okay.
I want to, not discreetly, I want to catch back behind him. Like, hey, dude.
All right, you're following after that creature. Let's cut back over to Primrose, who is over here. And you have followed this snake-haired lady up to this other stall on this elevated platform here. And let me tell you what you can see. At this stall, there's a scraggly old woman with deep wrinkles set into her face. And she hobbles back and forth behind a table at the front of this vendor shop. Glass jars filled with salt, small bones, and other curiosities rest on a shelf to the side of the table. Atop the shelf atop the table sits a shining crystal ball, swirling with blue inside of it. Primrose, what would you like to do?
Is the lady the same one I followed up?
There are 2 ladies. One is
Okay.
the old woman who's the vendor, and then there's the woman with the snake hair, and she is currently inspecting the vendor's wares.
I'll ask the vendor, do you do love readings?
I do all sorts of readings.
Can I get a love reading between myself and this fine lady right here?
Please sit. We shall do a reading.
Okay, I'm going to sit.
desire a reading, you must pay first.
How much?
Well, a typical reading usually costs 25 gold pieces. However, you desire a special reading, a love reading. 200 gold pieces, and I will tell you all you wish to know about your love life.
How about I play you a song instead?
A lovely song. I doubt you have the skill to sway me, but do your worst.
She prompts you to play. As you play your song on your lute and your beautiful voice, she begins to sway back and forth. Big smile goes across her face, and she reaches across the table and takes you by one hand. And then this crystal ball, she pushes it aside with her other hand, and then grabs you with both hands and leans in close and says,
Oh, my dear, you don't need a reading. I am your love.
She gives you a big old smile. She has no teeth whatsoever, just black gums.
Now, give me a big kiss, little one.
I'll do it. I give her a big kiss.
Give
Yes.
her a big kiss. All right, you give her a big kiss, and she returns it. She looks at you, and you can see a sparkle in her eyes.
Now, when shall we marry?
As soon as possible, my love.
Well, I need to get ready first. It's been quite some time. Now, tell me, would it be okay if Bertrude married us? Or did you have somebody else in mind?
I don't care as long as it's with my love of my life.
Oh, you're so small and adorable. You're so much more handsome than my other husbands.
My face goes from a big smile to just straight face and said, if you have more than one, then I cannot marry. I am looking for the woman that will be my own.
Oh no! I've cooked them all, boiled their bones. No worries, I'm always looking for another.
I'm going to try to convince her that I'm going to try to persuade her that she actually hates me now. Now that I think that if I marry her, I might die. I'm going to try to make it her convince her that she hates me, but whilst at the same time trying to flirt with the snake-haired lady that I followed up here.
Okay, how exactly are you trying to convince her that she doesn't like you anymore?
So she fell in love with my song. I'm going to try to convince her that the song, that my lute is magical and plays itself, and that I don't actually know how to sing, that I have that it's another magical item that makes it sound like I can sing.
Okay.
I have built an auto-tune. So
Okay.
I actually suck as a performer. That wasn't even my own song.
Okay, you're doing your best to convince her. Give me a persuasion check. This feels like a deception check, actually. Yes, deception. It's probably the same for you.
It is. Oh, that wasn't great.
Oh, it's...
Were you involving the snake-haired lady in your excuse somehow? You mentioned
Yes.
her. What did you say again?
Yes. I'm trying to flirt with her because,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. She says,
Oh, my pretty, whether it is magic or natural talent, you are mine.
and as you're trying to flirt with the snake-haired lady. Please give me a persuasion check as you flirt with the snake-haired lady. You flirt with her, and the snake-haired lady, it's a big smile across her face, and she comes over, and she puts her hand on the old woman's shoulder and says, "Now, listen here. This little one is mine, and thou shalt not have him, not at all." And the old woman cackles at him and stands. "I will fight him then." And the snake-haired lady pulls her cowl back. All of the snakes stand up. And the snake-haired lady's eyes turn red as she stares at the old woman. And let's cut back to the other group. And Imral, you had been standing off to the side by that creature playing the lute and singing. Were you doing anything particular besides just trying to distance yourself from the other characters?
I'm just trying to listen to what was going on with Gildar, but not in case we needed to follow up, and I didn't want to seem acquainted with him. So
okay. And so Gildar, you're standing there. Imral is paying attention to what's going on, and this massive two-headed creature had wandered off with this sack full of coins, it sounded like by the sounds of it. And Kuruk, you had said you were going after him. What exactly were you planning on doing?
I'm going to say that is very rough, but I'm not sure he is very honest about the magic of the item. Maybe it's an excuse. I have one head. Maybe I can try it for you. And if I can fly, it will show he was maybe right. If I can't, he might have been lying to you.
You say he was lying to me?
Maybe, I'm not sure. That's why I offer to test the helmet for you, because I only have one head. So we will know if he lies or not. I promise to give the helmet back if it works. I don't want magic items. I'm not into magic.
As it stares at you, a big old gob of drool comes out of its mouth over its lip. Oh. Give me a persuasion check. Yeah, persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Oh, good.
Oh, okay. Let's see if it works on you.
He takes the helm off and gives it to you.
I put it on, and I don't try to make myself fly.
Okay.
I jump above and jump a bit. I try to do little things to pretend I'm trying to fly, but I'm not actually attuning or trying to make anything to make me fly.
Okay. And for what it's worth too, the helmet does not feel magical. Like, generally speaking, you can kind of tell by touching something if it's magical. It doesn't seem magical at all.
Just to make sure. I don't want to actually accidentally activate a thing.
Sure.
It is not magic. I don't fly at all.
It's not working for you?
No, and I only have one head.
Wait. Are you sure you only have one head?
Yes, I'm sure.
I don't know. I think you're hiding a head.
What do you want me to do to prove you I don't have any other head?
Well, most things that have more than one head, if you chop off one of their heads, they don't die. So, if we chop off your head and you die, we know you were lying. But if we chop off your head and you don't die, then we... No, wait, reverse that. If we chop off your head and you die, we know you were telling the truth. But if we chop off your head and you die... No, if you don't die, we know you were telling the... Wait.
I have another solution. I have another solution, friend. I can call you friend. I have another solution. Heads are often on shoulders. I can show you the rest of my shoulders, and we can check if there's not another head.
I don't know. That sounds a little scandalous, don't you think? Show
I
me
don't
your
need to take
shoulders?
everything. I just move the collar. I have a pretty large collar. I show one shoulder, then the other, not more.
It covers its eyes up. Oh!
All of them? Yeah. Then does it have
The
two
other,
hands?
the other head is not covering its eyes up though.
I can confirm there's only one head.
And the other one peeks from behind its eyes. Oh, okay. So,
So he took your gold and gave you a helmet which does not work. And I hand back the helmet because it's still his helmet.
he takes it back. Oh, and
You
he
should be very, very angry at him.
and he crushes the helmet. And he throws it on the ground. It
You should
doesn't
be-
work.
You should be very angry at him. He lied to you and took your gold.
I am angry. And he screams and then charges across the cavern. Back up to the goblin. Starts screaming and yelling and demands his money back. And the goblin says, "Oh, that's not a problem. It's not a problem. Just calm down. Well, where's the helmet? I'm happy to give you a refund." And the two-headed creature goes and gets the crushed helmet and brings it back and puts it on the table. The goblin looks at the creature and says, "Well, I'm sorry. I can't refund you if it's crushed." And the two-headed creature, all angry, shoulders sag. "Oh, I got screwed." And it grabs the helmet. And then both of the heads look at you, Kirik. He comes walking over. "I lost all my money. I don't have a helmet that makes me fly. And my helmet's crushed." And then it pokes a big finger into your chest. "I think it's your fault."
I didn't crush your helmet. He sold you a helmet that did not work. And he made you so angry it made you crush it. It's all his fault.
Ah.
He's the reason you're angry. He sold you something fake.
Oh. Give me a persuasion check. The creature bellows and then turns to the goblin and says, "I'm talking to Bertrude." And then it pounds off toward the giant slug to speak with Bertrude.
Interesting.
Gildar, what are you doing? Or Imril as well. What are you guys doing?
When the two-headed creature goes to talk to Bertrude, how does the goblin react to that?
The goblin?
Yeah.
The goblin's kind of looking around. Doesn't know what to do, how to take it.
Seems like you could be in a little bit of a pickle here.
Well, it's happened before.
And how do you solve it usually?
I'm sorry, what's that?
How do you solve it usually? Sans pickle.
Well, I'm sure I'll figure something out. Now, you wanted to buy this statuette, right?
The one you're claiming is magical and totally isn't?
Oh, I never said it was magical.
No? I'm still not convinced it's totally gold, though. You're gonna have to show it to me.
Oh, it doesn't matter what it is. I set the price, and you got to pay it. If you want it, you pay it.
I don't know. I mean, 4,000's a lot for a gold-plated replica.
That's what they all say. Every single one of them has said the exact same thing. I'm getting tired of hearing it. I'll
Well,
tell
you may not have to wait too much longer, because I think the two-headed guy's probably going to come back and trash your stuff.
I don't think so, because there's security around here, and those gnolls up there will shoot 'em full of arrows, and these hobgoblins will slice them all up. I am protected by my contract with Bertrude.
Sure, but how long is it going to take the guards to get to help you?
There's actually
That thing can do a lot of damage.
There's actually 2 of the hobgoblin guards right up here on the platform with you, with one of their wolves, and on the catwalk up above, there's one of those gnolls.
Yeah,
And
I'm still going to say it.
And
Oh, go ahead.
question: just how did those react during the little trouble made by the two-headed guy?
The
Was
guards. Yeah,
the guards.
The guards
They
are
were-
keeping a tight eye on that 2-headed creature, hands on their weapons. They're ready to deal with any trouble.
Okay, so security very observant.
And let's cut back over to the wedding ceremony. So the snake-haired lady's eyes blaze with magical energy, and the old lady moves back a little bit. Her eyes go wide. Her skin begins to turn gray, and she begins to stiffen up. And then she freezes completely, having become seemingly a stone statue. And the snake-haired lady looks at you. How, my dear? You are mine. And at that, you hear a horn blow. And looking over Primrose, you can see a gnoll archer over here blowing a horn. He drops the horn, draws a bow and arrow, and aims it towards you. Over here, you can see some of these guards rushing up the stairs, and the gnoll shouts out, "Murder! Murder!" And he's pointing in your direction, Primrose.
I'm going to try to scream and tell them, wait, but murder's not against the rules. You're allowed to murder, you just aren't allowed to fight.
The guards come rushing up here. And one of them demands, "What's going on here? Who
Well,
stoned the old lady?"
the lady just turned to stone. You know, sometimes that happens. You know that, right? Like, sometimes old ladies just turn to stone. It's a terrible epidemic plaguing our nation.
And while you're saying this, the snake-haired lady is very subtly pulling the cowl back up over her head, hiding her snake hair. Just randomly turned to stone, you say?
Yes, it's very horrible. I suggest that we actually all get away from here, because I hear that sometimes it can spread even if you're not even the same age, gender, or species.
They look around at each other. Make a deception check, Primrose. They begin to back away from the old lady. Holy crap. Oh! Go get the tape! Go get the tape! Alright, come on. Let's go, little one. Get off this platform. We're quarantining this area. It's off limits now. And they begin moving down away from here. And this Noel Archer begins running away down this catwalk. And the snake-haired lady wanders off. As she does, from the depths of the cowl, you can see her look at you, Primrose. She gives you a little raise of the eyebrows, a smile. Her forked tongue flicks out at you, and she kisses the air towards you, blows some kisses your way as she wanders away, and you hear her say, "Soon, my dear, soon." And she walks away. And the guards are gesturing for you to get off the platform, and one of them has brought back some yellow tape ribbon that it is beginning to string up around the area.
Yes, I will listen to the guards, since I'm do not want to fight, and I will leave the platform.
All right, you get down off the platform, and they put up a sign that says, "Deadly Stone Plague. Keep out." And all of the words are spelled wrong.
Well, so my new girlfriend said soon, so I'm going to leave her be, and I'm going to go find my party and make sure that they aren't dying or anything.
Okay, as you go by the giant slug to get your party, find your party who's up here, you can see a massive two-headed creature loudly complaining to Bertrude. He sold me bad stuff. It didn't work and I can't fly. Now he won't honor his return policy. So that's what you hear as you go by. And Imral?
Yeah, I'd like to follow the two-headed guy and be a witness to his complaint.
Okay, so go ahead and move up next to him then. Primrose, you can see Imral kind of quietly coming up and standing next to the two-headed guy.
I'm going to walk up to the two-headed guy, and I'm going to mention the fact that one of the rules says if you buy it, you keep it. You keep it, so that means there is no return policy. And as long as you don't fight or steal, there's ways to get back at him.
He's talking with Bertrude, and then you start talking to him, and he says, I can only talk to one person. Oh, wait a second. So the one head keeps talking to Bertrude, complaining, and then the other head turns to you.
What are you talking about?
Well, so if you look at the 4 rules of this place, it's no fighting, don't be a stealer, no breaking stuff, and if you buy it, you keep it. So as long as we don't break, steal, or fight, we just have to ruin his entire reputation, make sure that he destroys his own stuff, and make it so that way he never wants to enter anywhere again, and then you can get him back.
That sounds complicated.
It is, but it's a lot more fun than just breaking all of his stuff.
I like breaking stuff.
Well, see, as soon as he leaves, then you can take over the shop. It becomes your stuff, and then you can break it.
Her eyes are screwing up into her head. Please make a persuasion check.
That seems like a good idea. Gonna need some help with that. Oh, it sounds confusing.
And then the other head is talking to Bertrude. It's not fair. And Bertrude says,
I'm sorry. The rules are the rules. You bought it, and it's yours now. And well, we've had lots of eeks, and this one is the best one yet. So sorry.
Oh, come on. And the two-headed giant is just getting sad now.
And Emerald pipes up and says, Bertrude, I saw the whole thing. He's speaking the truth. He was cheated by Eek. And if you let your merchants cheat your customers, your business will not survive.
Maybe that sounds okay. I don't know.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Oh, I forgot to give myself guidance.
You could do so if you wish.
That's so maybe we should make him honor the return policy. All
At the
right.
least. Or offer another item in his store as compensation. And I turned to the two-headed guy. Did you see that beautiful statuette of the with the cobra that was like a cobra? Did you see that? That was really pretty.
Cobra? Statue of a cobra? What am I gonna do with that?
Oh, take it home and put it on your mantelpiece, right? You know, it's gonna look pretty.
I wanna
Everyone's gonna
fly.
like
I
it.
wanna fly though.
Well, there's nothing to make you fly today. But the cobra will keep you happy until you find a way to fly.
Make a persuasion check.
Ah!
I don't think so. I just want my money back. I'm gonna go buy a pet. Yeah, there was an octopus being sold over there. I'm gonna get an octopus. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it as a pet.
I tell you what, if you get that statue from the guy from Eek, we'll buy it off you.
You'll buy the octopus off of me?
We'll buy the octopus for you. We'll
Oh.
trade. We'll trade the octopus for the statue.
You'll give me the octopus for the statue?
Sure.
I don't know. Why don't I just go get the octopus instead?
Is the Eek gonna give you the octopus?
I don't know. We could ask him.
So I'm gonna pipe in here and say, well, I have a way to make this even better. If you do this for us, I'll make you invisible tomorrow.
He'll make me invisible?
Yes.
How am I gonna use the bathroom then?
Don't worry, you're still yourself, so you can see yourself, but no one else will be able to see you. Imagine all the fun stuff you can see. You can go anywhere that you want, and no one would know you're there.
That sounds really dumb. I don't think that. I want you to make me fly. Can you make me fly?
Sure, we can make you fly. I mean, do you know of any high places around here?
Oh yeah, there's some caverns that have high places.
Yeah. We could go there together and we'll make you fly. Sure.
Okay,
If you get us that cobra statue, then we'll make you fly.
Okay, all right.
And he turns back to Bertrude.
All right, I've made up my mind, and I want that cobra statue. Yeah, I want there to be an exchange.
And Bertrude,
Okay, I'll make an exception.
and Bertrude writes something out and gives it to the two-headed creature and says,
Give this to Eek and tell him to make it happen. Otherwise, it's his hide. Yeah.
and the two-headed creature takes a piece of paper and goes pounding back up to Eek and presents the piece of paper to Eek. And Eek seems a little bit deflated. Gildar and Kirk, are you still up there with Eek?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Me too. I'm more talking less. I'm more observing the security, but I'm around. Yes.
Okay. And the two-headed creature presents the piece of paper to Eek, and Eek looks at it. Oh, this looks like it's valid for an exchange. Oh, that's... Now, have I mentioned something to you there, lad? I have here a cigar box. And the two-headed creature looks at Eek, confused as to why the cigar box is interesting. And Eek goes on to explain the cigar box has a variety of different cigars in it. And Eek holds back a sneeze and says that some of these cigars, when smoked, will allow you to fly. And the two-headed creature,
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
and Eek goes on to explain that several of the cigars allow you to fly, and if you smoke them at the same time, you can fly. And the two-headed creature,
Okay.
I'm going to pipe in. Sorry, I just want to help you again, so you don't, get in that cycle. Is there a way to be sure which cigar does that?
are you asking Eek or are you talking to the two-headed creature?
I'm asking to Eek in front of. I want to help my friend here with that helmet and flying situation. Is there a way to know which cigars can make you fly?
Yep, but you gotta buy them first. And once you buy them, I'll tell you which ones.
You said this little trinket here, snake trinket, could have magical power. I heard of flying snake. Is it a flying cobra statue?
Nope, it's not flying. It's just extremely high priced.
Can I see if he's lying about the cigars?
Give me an insight check. Yeah, he's absolutely lying.
Okay, I'm gonna say, while everyone thinks for a little bit, why don't I play you a song?
Eek does not seem to be very interested in playing a song. And when you mention playing a song, you hear a hiss, Primrose, from this direction. And that creature who had been playing her lute and singing stops now and looks your way and says,
No competition up here, little one. Now move along with your prissy little lute and your beautiful singing voice.
I'm sorry that you're not as beautiful, as talented as me, but if you guys would just listen for just 1 minute, I promise a performance that you will remember your entire life.
the creature does not seem to be very happy. Go ahead and start playing. Give me a performance check.
Okay. Specifically, I'm going to be using enthralling performance.
Oh dear, there's a box of text right there.
Basically, it's saying third level. If I perform for 1 minute, I can attempt to, and they listen for 1 minute. They each target up to 3 targets can make a wisdom saving throw of 13, and if they fail, they are charmed for 1 hour.
Okay, which 3 people are you targeting?
The Eek, the 2-headed giant, and then because she's making fun of me, the as a player, I know it's the siren that's in the top booth.
Okay. All right. So you play for 1 minute, and so I'm making a DC. Would you say wisdom save?
13.
Okay.
1-3.
And oh dear.
I don't know if that face is a good face or a bad face.
Eek, and the creature are now both looking at you, swaying along, smiling, and the 2-headed creature. He is humming along, completely out of tune, and Eek seems pretty happy, smiling at you. This means they're charmed by you now.
Yes, they are charmed.
For how long?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Or until they take any damage.
Or if they witness you attacking or damaging any of its allies. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, Eek and the 2-headed creature both appear to be charmed by you. However, the creature that you had labeled as a siren, she hisses and snarls and says,
That is the worst singing I've ever heard.
and she begins playing a song.
Well, you're allowed to have your own opinion, even if it's factually wrong.
And I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Where is it? There it is.
So none of you are affected except Primrose. Primrose, you are now charmed by the siren. And she says, Now, come over here. She's gesturing at you, Primrose.
Oh, I'm charmed. I'm going to go over there. Apparently, I have something to learn from this this person here. That yeah, I have something to learn because obviously they're amazing.
Now, what I want you to do is spend the next half hour playing the most hideous, horrible song ever.
Okay. Can I make a performance check to see how bad I can make it?
Yes. The higher you roll, the worse it will be, since you're
Yeah.
trying to play it poorly.
Yeah.
It's actually halfway bad, but still a little bit good. You know.
Like comically bad.
Yeah, and you're playing along and singing and whatnot, and some of the creatures seem not to like it, but it's not quite so bad. And Eek and the giant were charmed by you for like 1 minute.
For 1 hour.
Oh, for 1 hour. So you play for
Yes.
a half an hour.
Yes.
All right, and then you finish, and the siren smiles and starts playing. Sounds a whole lot better than you, and customers start coming her way. You can see Eek and the giant, or the two-headed creature. He's kind of a giant. He's pretty big. Are
I mean, compared to me, he's massive.
and they're standing there. Gildar, what do you want to be doing?
At this point, I'm watching the bard play this horrible song. Is he still playing after the half hour, or is he done?
After a half hour, that was the deal I made with the lady who I made the deal with. So after that, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to the bard and be like, "If you're finished playing that horrible, god-awful music, could we get back to business?"
Yep, I will say, of course.
Emerald, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm still focused on whether the two-headed giant will extract the snake, the cobra statue, or the box of cigars. If they're still talking about the box of cigars, I'm going to say to him, to the giant, don't believe that nonsense about flying cigars. If he fools you once, shame on him. But if he fools you twice, the shame is on you, my friend. You should go for that cobra statue.
That will be kind of helping Emer. Like,
Okay.
this man that I absolutely don't know has a very good point.
Okay, Emerald,
A girl.
give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Me? Okay.
Yes, you.
All right.
And the two-headed creature leans down and says,
Oh, you're very smart. He probably wants to fool me again, huh?
I'm afraid so.
I like smoking, though.
Well, I tell you what, I've got a nice cigar back at my place. I'll give you that.
Okay, are we still on for the octopus deal?
Sure.
All right.
he turns back to the goblin.
All right, I've made up my mind. I want the Cobra statue to honor the exchange agreement by Bertrude herself.
And Eek seems disappointed, mutters to himself, pulls out a key, and then unlocks the cage, pulls out the Cobra statue, puts it in front of the two-headed creature, locks the cage back up, takes the paper. Oh, there you go. Now get out of here. Leave me alone. And the two-headed creature takes the statue.
I have the statue now.
And then he turns back to the rest of you.
All right, I want my octopus now.
It's
And it had better have all 8 of its legs, too.
Let's see if we can get you a 9-legged octopus. That's even better.
A mutant octopus?
Well, if they have one.
Ooh. Okay.
they don't.
I changed my mind. I will only accept a 9-legged octopus.
No,
because-
that was a joke. Come on, man.
This is
Come on.
why we don't let the cleric talk.
What do you mean it was a joke? Why would you joke with me?
Wait, octopuses are funny.
Octopuses are funny.
Isn't that why you wanted an octopus? Because they are very funny and cool pets.
I don't know.
Emerald, give me a deception check.
I'm going to give myself guidance on this
Okay.
because I'm going to need it.
Roll that D4.
Yeah, really, is it going to make a difference? I'll do it just for the sake of it. Oh, look at that.
You know what? I've been thinking about this, and I kind of like this statue. I think I might just keep the statue now. You know what? You can keep your wet octopus. You know what? If I were to have a pet octopus, I'd have to go live in a lake anyway, and I don't know how to swim. So that was probably a bad idea anyway. So I'm just gonna take my statue now, and I'm gonna go back to my beautiful wife, and we're gonna live happily ever after with this statue.
You sound like a very smart person, you know. Don't let be fooled by this little elf there. You're very smart. I like to be more friend with you. Can I come with you?
What do you
To
want to
get to know,
What do you
just to
want?
talk, to get to know each other. You didn't even tell me your name.
My name?
Or names if every of your head has one. I don't know much.
Yeah, I'm big, and she's a boo. They call us Bigaboo.
That's very great names.
Uh,
I'm Kirurk. Yes.
There's too many consonants in that word.
You can call me Kir.
Kill.
Kir. Perfect.
Kill.
Kill. Kill.
Kill. Ooh,
Kill.
who are we gonna kill?
No, that's my name. My
That's
name
when I hear him ask who we're going to kill, I'm going to slide in and say, "Oh, you didn't hear? We're going to kill you if you don't give us that statue there." So I would hand it over if I were you.
You have it charmed. Why don't you charm him instead of intimidating?
Because charm works on any of the social roles,
Oh.
which intimidation is a social role.
Well, you're threatening to kill me?
Yes, unless you give us that statue that you just got. The cat is not happy with this course of action.
The cat is very intimidated.
Give me an intimidation check.
And I do get advantage on that because of him being
shit,
charmed,
I
correct?
think
Yes. Yep. Go ahead.
I'm frozen.
All right.
Oh! Don't kill me! I'm sorry! Ah!
And he drops the statue to the ground, and there are a couple guards standing right there. And when this two-headed creature shouts out about not killing him, and he hands you over the statue, one of these, all three of these guards, and there's a Noel Archer right on the catwalk, right above you guys. You guys are right here. There's right next to the guards. The guards come over. Hey, what's going on here? You're not.
We were just making a pleasant exchange for the statue.
You're not.
Remember, killing's not against the rules as long as we don't fight.
Deals are in the rules. We made a
You
deal.
are allowed to make deals within the rules.
Wait, did you just threaten to kill him, though? I was standing right there.
No, I didn't. You're imagining things.
And then at this, Eek over there. Yes, that's exactly what happened. I was a witness. They were threatening to kill him if he didn't turn the statue over. And then that siren as well testifies and says that you were threatening to kill him if he didn't turn the statue over. You now have several witnesses against you, and the guard looms over you, Primrose.
I'm a witness and a friend of this two-headed friend. Their name are Big Abu, and I witnessed it was a deal. A deal, little pleasure off, but a deal nonetheless. Know what?
I'm gonna talk to the guy and say, well, why can't I threaten someone as long as I don't carry out the action? I see nothing wrong with it.
'Cause you're stealing.
I'm not stealing. He gave it to me willingly. He chose. He could have not given it, and maybe I would have carried out my threat. Maybe I wouldn't have. But who's to decide that? In the end, I didn't do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. You're just trying to get in the way of business. What would Bertrude think if you tried to get in the way of business going on in her bazaar?
And give me a deception check, I feel like.
All right. let's all right, carry on.
And the guards move off to the side. The statue's lying there on the ground.
Yep. I'm going to pick up the statue and then hand it over to our party members and tell them to go take it back as I go look for my new snake-haired waifu.
I just pretended to not know you, so I will let one of the two of us take the statue.
I'll take the statue.
All right, Emerald takes the statue, and Primrose wanders off to find his wife. She's standing across the bazaar over here.
Hello. Are you ready to come, my dear?
Of course, my dear.
Very well then.
She grabs your hand with a tight grip, leans in and says,
You are mine.
and her snake hair is writhing.
And I reply, and you are mine.
And there's a tunnel right here. And she begins to take you down the tunnel. Do you go along?
Yes.
All right, you go along with her down that tunnel. And what are the other three of you doing? Emerald, you have the stone statue. Or the snake statue.
I don't know. Job done, guys. Let's go back and get the gold. No, I'm not so heartless. I cannot be so heartless. I mean, did I get the impression that Primrose was going willingly?
I think it looked like it. It sure looked like he was going willingly.
I mean, you know,
I was almost skipping as I headed down the tunnel.
where a bard gets his or her pleasure is a bard's. That's a bard's thing. We clerics avert our eyes. Yeah, I think I make my way towards the exit. I look at my remaining two companions and say, I sort of, you know, don't say anything. I just sort of nod towards the door.
I follow from a bit behind because I pretended all this time to not know any of those persons. So I'll follow just a bit behind to not be too close, but I'll go towards the exit as well.
Emerald, are
This
you
is the
walking?
exit.
Are you walking along the catwalk up top?
I thought the exit was up here. I don't remember where the exit was. Oh no, it's here.
It's over here. Yeah.
Okay, then no, I'm not. I'm going through the bottom. I'm saying goodbye to Primrose, who's going down his tunnel. I wave
Serves
at
them right for not reading the map. Fools.
It is
Fair
up.
enough. I wave at Bertrude on the way out. Say, nice bazaar, very wonderful. And
Yes, it's very good. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Please come back anytime you need exotic wares.
And you guys head out the tunnel. Go
Yep.
past. What?
yeah, I was just gonna say yes. The three of us, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. You guys head out. In Primrose, you skip along with your soon-to-be bride.
Yes. Down the way that the map actually marks as the exit.
She's taking you down a different tunnel though.
Oh.
There's a tunnel toward the back here.
Okay. Maybe she knows a secret way out.
She's taking you down that tunnel, and there are some signs along that tunnel, and they say no passage, do not go this way, turn back, etc. Use the front entrance, things like that.
Okay, are they saying this in common or goblin?
It's in common.
It's in common now. Must be older since the rest of everything else was in goblin, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. Yeah, you keep going with your soon-to-be bride, and she's escorting you out of the place. The three of you, the other three, are heading out the front entrance, and you get out into the cavern, and you're just continuing back to the town.
I'm gonna ask the guards at the tunnel entrance to the bazaar, right? The guys who try to get the silver off us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask them, is there a better way out of here? On the way in, we had trouble with those grasping arms in the in those tunnels. Is there a way that we can get out of here without having to deal with that?
Yeah, that's hard. Well, there is the emergency exit. You could go that way. But
Oh,
it's fraught with danger.
is it worse than the arms or better?
The arms are pretty bad. I think the emergency exit probably is a little bit not as dangerous.
Okay. Which way is that?
He gives you instructions, and as he explains it, you realize it's the same tunnel that your companion Primrose had gone off down.
Well, what say you, Kirurk and Gildar?
I have no desire to fight those things again. So if we can take a different tunnel, that would be awesome.
Well, maybe we will see what Primrose got this time.
Fair enough. I agree.
All right.
Usually has pretty catch.
So the three of you go back into the bazaar and then head out emergency exit. And Primrose, as you travel along with your would-be bride, this tunnel opens up into a larger chamber. And Primrose, you can see statues, life-size statues of various humanoids, an elf, a human, some dwarves, even a halfling, but mostly humans, some half-elves, all about. And as you travel into this chamber, these statues are so lifelike, down to every detail. And most of the faces, they're all male, by the way, most of the faces are just faces of horror in this chamber. And your soon-to-be bride, she calls herself Sasha. My name is Sasha. And she takes her cowl down. And her snake heads are all looking around and hissing and stuff. She gestures with her hand. You can see here all of my ex-husbands. They displeased me. But you won't, will you?
Of course not, as I am the perfect man. And I knew that these were yours as your lovers, as they're the exact same as the statue you made earlier.
Yes.
And of course, if you ever try to hurt me like that, it won't end well for you either. So let's just leave it as that, as we both know that neither one of us want to harm each other, and we just want to live life, our beautiful life together in perfectness.
Did you just threaten me?
Of course, but you also threatened me, so it's only fair.
Do you know what I did to the 7 other ex-husbands who threatened me?
Of course, you petrified them with your petrifying gaze, just as you did with the woman out there. I'm a bit of a magician myself, so I obviously can recognize that. And of course, I'm also, you know that I recognize that, so you know that I also know how to avoid it.
And your 3 other companions, Imril, Kirk, and Gildar, walk into this chamber, see all of these petrified creatures all over the place, and see Primrose now having a discussion with this snake-headed woman. I don't know that the 3 of you had ever gotten a really good look at her before because she had her cowl up, but now you can see that this person that he went off with is snake-headed, or her hair, instead of hair, she has snakes. And she does not seem to be very happy. She's very beautiful, right? Except for the snake hair, obviously. Very beautiful woman, and she does not look happy, and she's hissing and snarling at Primrose. And she declares, I believe it is time to make another statue and go back to the bazaar. And with that, her eyes begin to glow. Wait. And let me get a map here. I think we're rolling initiative. Gather your tokens up too.
Goliath, you are very right. That was extremely like the poison sting from the Princess Bride.
That's
I
cool.
said it on the chat, but I will say it again out loud. Primrose is not officially my favorite bard of all times, including all my own bards.
So that was that. And let me draw a little cavern really quick for you guys here. Oh, whoops, that's I want to do freehand. There we go. Okay. Come on, baby, you can do it. Draw! Yeah, there we go. And so this is the cavern, and there is an elevated part of it over here, a higher platform with sort of stairs that
I
lead
don't
up
think we
to
can
it.
see it.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, I'm sorry. I haven't moved you over there yet. Hey, how's that?
Now we see it.
All right,
Yep.
so cavern with some stairs that lead up to an elevated platform up here, and here is the snake-haired woman, and Primrose is up with her, and this is down here is where you guys had come in. And you guys can see the snake-haired lady very, very upset with Primrose, and she is moving with hostile intentions towards your small halfling companion. And please select your tokens and roll initiative.
And we miss Primrose.
I know he stepped away. He's like, I'm about to get eaten. We actually, you know what? I never took a break, as I promised you guys we would take a break. So why don't we take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll see how this battle goes for you.
So, Primrose, we are taking the break right now, so you can roll your initiative and we're on break.
Okay. Combat, I just cannot do anything. It's because I built my character for social encounters.
Well, your social encounters did us very good right now.
Yeah.
You avoided us a big mess in the bazaar.
Hmm.
That was the best plan ever.
Yeah.
I'll admit I stay around just because I think if I don't stay connected, I might fall asleep on spot. So
Yeah.
be around.
Because yeah, it's quite late for you. +8, or you're
It's-
+1.
It's 3 a.m. It's
Yeah.
exactly 3 a.m. right now. But damn if it isn't worth it.
Hmm.
Did we lose somebody?
Yes. It appears that
Oh, he's back.
yeah, time for the TPK.
I'm sure you'll be just fine. Did you roll your initiative, Primrose?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let me reorder that. Beautiful. Ooh. All right. Gildar, you are far across. Oh well, let's give Emerald a hot second to come back before we start this. I'm getting all excited here. Here we go. All right, Gildar, you can see this snake-haired lady appearing to be about to attack your small companion Primrose. What would you like to do?
I am going to dash doubles my movement.
Correct.
I'm gonna dash. To there.
All right, you charge forward to engage this creature. And Primrose, it is your turn. And as you stand there, all of these snakes on this lady's head are waving back and forth, and her eyes glow. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Primrose, your skin begins to turn gray, and it's hard to move. You are now restrained, and you can feel your skin stiffening.
Okay.
And now you can take your turn.
Okay, I'm going to yell, don't look at her eyes. Turn away. And then I'm going to use Vicious Mockery, wisdom saving throw of 13.
Oof. Okay. I failed.
Takes 1 damage. And that is my turn.
1 damage. Whee! Kirk, you're up.
1, 2, 3. I'm going to move the closest I can here, up north. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm just checking again. Yeah, I'm pretty large. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on her.
Okay. Attack roll. And that hits her. 4 damage. Your Ray of Frost streaks out from your hand, slams her in the shoulder, freezes it over a little bit.
As a free action, I'm going to, as I heard Primrose, the moment I casted it, I looked down to my feet. Oh.
Okay. So you avert your eyes after you cast the spell at her.
After.
Okay. And she is going to... Very nice. She strides forward up to you, Gildar. You are
far too short and ugly to make a good husband. I apologize.
And then she pulls out a short sword and stabs at you with it. One of the strikes hits you for 7 points of damage. And then she comes forward and her snake hair strikes at you, fangs coming at your face.
I want to riposte on the second one that she missed.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, apparently not.
That's a miss. And the snake hair comes at you for another miss. The snake heads are biting at your breastplate, unable to penetrate it. Imral, you're up.
Alrighty. 15, 20 feet. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at her at second level.
Is that a 60-foot range?
120 foot.
120. Okay, cool. Make that attack roll, I believe, right? Ooh. Your guiding bolt goes over her shoulder and slams into the cavern wall.
Arg. I avert my eyes as well. I'm also studying my feet.
Okay, so after you cast your bolt at her, you're averting
Yes.
your eyes. Okay.
That's it for me.
And top of the order now. After having fought her for one round, you guys get the feeling that if you avert your eyes at the beginning of your turns and thus attack blindly without being able to see her, then you might be protected a little bit. But if you don't avert your eyes until the end of your turn, it's not going to work. You got to do it from the get-go. So you get this feeling now. So at the beginning of each of your turns, you can tell me if you're averting your eyes or not. Bearing in mind that many spells don't work unless you can see your target, and if that's the case, you'd have to see her. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead and discuss briefly here at the top of the order, if you'd like. Like combat tactics, what your plan is, all that good stuff.
Do you allow flanking, Luke?
I don't use flanking rules, no.
That's a good question. I'm going quickly over my spell to make sure which need to be seen and to see or not. Future that you can see.
All right. Not a whole lot of discussion, so let's just hop into it. Gildar, the beginning of your turn, do you avert your eyes?
I do not.
You do not. Please make a Constitution saving throw. All right. You are unaffected by her petrifying gaze. Proceed.
All right, I'm going to attack with the battle axe. And if the roll's too low, I'm going to use the precision attack.
Do you have to declare... Oh, is that a Battle Master thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I can do it after the dice is rolled, but before any conditions are told to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking that extra D8.
All right.
So 15 total.
15 total. Your battle axe slams into her. Or is that 11 damage?
11 damage. I'm also going to action surge so I can take a second attack.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the die from your precision attack gets added to the damage, correct?
For the precision attack,
Fairly certain most do that. Could be wrong.
here, I'll post it up.
You add it to. Okay. Oh, you just add it to the roll. That's it. Okay, cool. So 11 points of damage. All right. And then your action surgeon, you said?
Yes. For a miss.
Big old miss. She swats aside your battle axe. I'll turn you into a statue yet, my dear. Primrose. Beginning of your turn. Do you avert your eyes?
No, because I'm already turning into a statue. I don't think it will help at this point.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw. Yes, you're restrained. You can't move. And stand by. What would you like to do?
I'm going to use action. It's going to be vicious mockery on her.
Is that a wisdom save?
Wisdom save of 13.
I failed.
4 points of damage. And then I'm going to give our dwarf friend here bardic inspiration.
All right. How does that work again?
As a bonus action, a creature other than yourself within 60 feet that can hear you gains an inspiration die 1d6. For 10 minutes, the creature can add it to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. This can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
All right. And is that all, Primrose?
I can't move, so yes.
All right, and then I need you to make another Constitution saving throw. And Primrose, after inspiring your companion, your tongue goes stiff, and your skin grays even more, and you can no longer move. In fact, the whole world goes dark around you. And your companions all observe as you turn into a solid stone statue. You are stone, sir.
Beautiful to behold.
The most elegant, splendid statue in this entire cavern.
Can I make before I fully turn into a statue, can I strike a cool pose?
Yes. Give me a performance check to see how cool your pose is.
Whoa!
Wow.
It's the best death ever.
You strike an elegant pose, the most magnificent pose that there is. Your companions are so awed by the grandeur of this pose that each of you gets advantage on the next action you perform.
Yes.
Well, I'll give you an inspiration die. Everybody gets an inspiration die, so you can use it when you want.
Great.
Well done, sir. That's the way to go out in style. Literally, style.
Bad wouldn't want to go any other way.
And Kirik, you have just witnessed your companion perish before you. What do you do? First of all, do you avert your gaze?
I do not avert my gaze.
All right, I need you to make a stand by. Give me a hot second here. Okay, what would you like to do?
I will use... I have to make it straight in my head. I will use 2 sorcery points to make a quickened spell on my magic missiles. I would like to cast magic missiles using a quickened spell.
go ahead and you summon forth the magical darts, and they fly out unerringly and strike her. Roll that damage, please. I believe it's 3, is it?
It's 3, which every one of them is a D4 plus 1 each. So I think that was directly my. No, it's 1 each. Okay. So I'll do it again. And again.
So a total of 13 damage?
Yes. And considering it was a quicken spell, I can also have another spell on my main action,
Okay.
which will be the chill touch.
Chill touch. Excellent.
I'm with the skeletal chill touch hand. I will try to grab her by the snake hair and pull her back
Ooh.
to make her look at the ceiling.
Attack roll. Your skeletal hand grabs her snake hair up and yanks her hair back. Several of the snakes decay and wither away into ashes under the touch of your magic. She hisses and snarls at you. Is that all?
Yes, that is all.
All right, and it is her turn now. She is disengaging from you, Gildar.
Come at me.
And she comes closer to the two of you casters.
Me, I said come at me. Me, there.
She got as close as she could. And that was her turn. Imril, you're up. Do you avert your gaze?
Hell no. I'm gonna try it again. I mean, I'm gonna roll my guiding bolt.
Stand by 1 hot second, please. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Imril.
Okay. How's that?
That'll be sufficient. You are unaffected by whatever she was doing.
Okay, here I go. Guiding bolt again. Okay, can I use my inspiration die?
You have to declare it before you roll.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yes.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. If
That's-
it's a magic die.
Oh,
Does
wait
it
a
cover-
second. Are you talking about inspiration or your inspiration die from the bard?
No, you
That's my
gave
question.
us all inspiration. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. To roll with advantage, you have to declare that beforehand. But you do have that bardic inspiration from Primrose. You could use that. That you can use after you roll.
Okay, well, I'm going to do everything I can. So that's a die 6, right?
Looks
Is that
like
right?
it.
Die 6?
Yes, it's a D6.
D6. Your guiding bolt goes over her shoulder and nearly hits Gildar, who is standing behind her.
This way, Gildar. Follow the bolt.
Is that all, sir?
Well, no, I'm going to do a bit of movement because, well, there. That's it, 35 feet. I'm done.
And top of the order, would you guys like to discuss it all?
Should we keep not averting our gaze? That's because at long run it might make us in trouble.
How's she looking?
How does she look?
Yeah.
She looks hardly wounded at all. Just a few light scrapes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't. If we have to go long run, I'm not sure we can have. Not
Should we just
let
run
it
away
waste
then?
all
Is that
time.
the plan? Just run away?
I kinda wanted to grab Primrose. He said we would have a better deal if we got 2 statues.
Gildar, grab Primrose and let's go. Let's get out of here.
He's a halfling, but he's now a stoned halfling. So I think, what did we say? He weighs 10 times as much as he normally would. So probably about 5. Weighs 50 pounds. Is that 5,000 that turns into? I can't.
He
do math.
weighs Primrose weighs 35 pounds. If it's 10 times, you'd weigh 350 pounds.
Okay, 350 pounds.
And I have So it'd be 400 pounds total with the weight of my backpack that I was
Okay.
carrying.
Okay. All right. Top of the
It was
order.
worth a shot.
I mean, it's a dwarf.
Good work. Gildar, what do you do? Well, first of all, do you avert your gaze?
No, I do not.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. You are unaffected.
All right, I am going to 5, 10, 15, 20. All my movement to there and attack. I'm going to use the inspiration to get advantage.
Okay. And your axe slams into her.
7 points of damage.
That's not very nice.
Oh, you called me ugly.
But
What's your charisma score?
13.
I was mistaken. You're mildly handsome.
And is that all, sir?
As a bonus action, I am going to. Where did it go? Use my second wind
Okay.
to gain some hit points back.
Second winding. And Primrose. You are stoned. Kirk, do you avert your gaze?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you are currently blind, considered blind to her then. You cannot see
Yeah.
her.
But I remember her general position.
Mhm.
I will step just a bit closer, hoping I'm right there. And if I'm not wrong, from where I am right now, if I cast Burning Hands, Gilda is just outside the cone while she's in there. It's a cone of 15 feet.
Yes, you will definitely hit her, but not your friend.
Then that's what I do. I cast Burning Hand and I cast it at second level.
And I'm pretty sure I failed my saving throw. Please roll damage. Oh, wow. Your DC is 12. I did make my saving throw then.
Oh,
I'll take half damage.
half damage. That's still damage.
She gets burned up. Sass. Her beautiful gown now is all crisped up, and she looks at you.
You will pay for that. This was my favorite gown.
Sorry, my tribe doesn't believe much in money.
And it is her turn now. She's getting very annoyed at you, dwarf. She is going to attack at you a couple times with her short sword. Stabbing away. For a miss.
The post.
Oh! Misses.
Misses.
And she riposts off from your riposte and stabs you in the chest for 3 points of damage. And then her snake hair, writhing about, lashes out at you. Misses you. She hisses and snarls in your face. Imral, do you avert your gaze?
Hell no. I'm going to. And this time I'm going to use that. What? Oh, Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you're good to go.
I'm going to cast a guiding bolt. I only have first level, but I'm going to use that special dice you gave me.
Okay, so you could roll with advantage on your attack roll.
Okay, I hold the shift key, and here we go.
And your bolt of energy flies off to the side just a little bit, and hits Gildar's. Do you have a shield, Gildar?
I do.
Hits Gildar's shield and reflects off from it and slams into the side of her face.
Yes.
15 damage.
I feel better now.
Burns away part of her face. She is.
It wasn't me. It was Gildar.
She is starting to look lightly wounded now. And top of the order. Are you all set?
Yep.
Gildar, you're up. Do you avert your gaze?
No, I do not.
Make a Constitution saving throw. You're gonna roll low on one. Oh, all right. You're unaffected.
Let's go with the battle axe again. 16 to hit.
Slams into her.
9 points of damage.
She takes a wound. Primrose is stone. Kirk, do you avert your gaze?
I do.
All right. What would you like to do?
I'm quickly checking a thing.
Oh, I think my bolt gave the next attack advantage, but I guess it didn't matter.
Oh.
Unless you
Yeah.
want to roll for crits.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Gildar, roll again your battle axe attack to see if you crit by chance. Does not.
Okay.
All right. Kirk.
I have I suppose I don't look at her, but I can see other stuff than her. My question is, did I saw Emerald coming closer? Basically.
Yeah, you can see everything kind of happening around her, but you can't see her.
Then I'm going to step slightly aside, just one step aside, and do Burning Hands again, 2nd level, and I announce that I will use my last sorcery point. It's getting late. To make an empowered spell.
To make a what?
So, empowered spell. When you roll a damage for a spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to roll up to 2 of the dice.
Okay.
So I will re-roll the 2 lower dice. I'm counting this, and so it's the same with the deck save.
I failed my save.
And I did 10. I re-roll the 2 last dice.
Okay.
It's d6.
So it'll be 7 plus 9, 16 points of damage then. All right, as flames cover her, catching her gown up and burning it away, she screams in rage, and she got really burned by that. She is not looking too good. This, by the way, is what this creature looks like. Probably minus the gown now, as you've burned it all away. She's covered with burn marks and wounds from battle as well.
Who fights in gowns anyway?
And
Wait a minute.
it is her turn. She's got to get this stupid dwarf. She's gonna attack the dwarf again. Come on, dwarf! Critical hit. 5 points of piercing damage. That's her
Hang
short.
on.
What do you mean, hang on?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, like, oh,
Sorry.
don't steal.
That comes at a
don't-
later level. I'm sorry. I thought I had the. Never mind.
Okay. 5 points of damage as her short sword slips into your side, Gildar. And then she retracts it and stabs again. Misses. No more? Okay. And then her snake hair writhes about and strikes at you. Fangs dripping with poison. Misses you. Imrul, do you avert your gaze?
No, sir.
Constitution saving throw. What would you like to do?
I would like to put our friend onto the path of the grave. So the next attack, next time you or an ally of yours hits the cursed creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to all the attack's damage.
Wow. So you call upon your deities for aid. You have now
Yes.
cursed her. All right.
Kellamvor, show her the way to her grave, I yell.
Excellent.
That's it.
That's your action. Gildar, you're up.
I'm going to avert my gaze this time,
Okay, averting your gaze.
and I'm going to attack with the battle axe again. I'm going to use my last superiority dice for
Okay.
precision attack if I need it.
The attack will be at disadvantage since you are averting your gaze.
And I will be using the extra D8
Okay.
for 15.
And your axe slams into her.
10 points of damage plus whatever the vulnerability is.
Okay, so that'll yeah, she takes double damage from that then, so that'll be 20.
Nice.
Oh wow, your axe cleaves off one of her arms and she shrieks in pain.
I look at her and say, if you leave now, you don't have to die.
Wait, don't look at her.
Oh, yeah, true.
Did you look at her?
I just want to tell her that if she leaves, I'm giving her the opportunity to leave without
Okay.
dying.
But you're not looking at her, right?
No.
Okay.
I've got my shield up in front of my face.
Okay. Kirk, you're up. Do you avert your gaze?
I do.
Okay.
And since I heard Gilda making this offer, I will just cast shield on myself,
Okay.
and I will come closer to make her understand she's not in position to negotiate.
She hisses and snarls, stoops over. Oh, were you gonna say something?
I was going to say, we are pretty merciful. You just killed a friend. This is very your last chance.
She nods, bends over, scoops up her arm that you just lopped off, and begins backing away and says, "Very well then, just leave me be." And she is moving away. She's provoking, but it appears that she has given up on the combat. Gildar, Kirk, do you let her retreat?
I do, yeah.
I
Alright.
do too.
She withdraws into the corner of the chamber and gestures at you to be on your way. Her chopped off arm in one hand, clutching it close to her. And if you guys are no longer attacking, then that's that. Combat is over. We are no longer in combat rounds. What'd you guys like to do?
Can we drag our friend?
He's
Well,
He's a halfling-sized statue, so quite heavy but manageable among the three of you.
Again, about 400 pounds.
About the three of us, I would be willing to try.
I'm sure I've got a rope. So we've got some rope somewhere, or
Probably, yes.
You also have a dwarf.
We have a dwarf, we have a puny but still a half-orc.
Yeah, the dwarf is pretty beefy. He can among
Between the dwarf, we have a dwarf and a half orc. I think they got it.
yeah.
The half-orc actually has a strength of 10.
yes, the elf is a little beefier than your half orc there. Just saying.
It is. I know. I know he's a puny half-orc.
Yes.
It's okay. Let me help. Let me help Gildar. We can manage.
We get the they're bringing back a second statue, so they get another magical item. They get 4
This
magic
is
items.
a very unique statue, one of a kind you cannot find anywhere.
You guys gather up your halfling companion and go back through the tunnels, find an exit to the surface, and make your way back to ruins and relics. You have the statue that the man, whose name I need to look up, Pakamsi Anapu, had requested. And you enter, and he is in his shop, rubbing his hands eagerly. Oh, very good then. It looks like one of you perished, so it's perfect. It's just perfect. I had 3 magic items. There are 3 of you. It's almost like I told the future. So, do you have the statue?
Yeah, I think before we get to that, there's still 4 of us here. We didn't specify that we had to be alive, and so I think 4 magic items.
Oh dear. Dear. Well, perhaps. First, show us the statue.
No, first show us the magic items.
Just show it to me. Don't have to give it to me. Just show it. I want to see the peak of it.
All right. I show it to him.
That is not a golden weasel.
No, you sent us after a cobra.
What do you mean, cobra? No, my ancestor was my great grandpa's pet weasel.
You said a golden statue of a cobra.
No, why
This
would we have a pet cobra? They strike at you. They could kill you. Why would they do that? It makes no sense.
A lot of people tame cobras for singing and playing the flute.
I don't know. Perhaps, listen to me. You guys all look like you did a lot of great work. Very, very hard. You look like you worked. I see battle wounds, and one of you is, well, a statue now. I am not without mercy. Perhaps I give you part of the reward for this cobra statue, even though it's not what I was looking for. But I am not a bad person. So
Sure, if you give us part of the reward, we'll give you part of the statue. And we'll leave you partly alive. How's that?
No, I think we can find a better deal.
Yeah,
how
I mean,
about-
look at the statue we have right here. It's the most magnificent statue that's ever been created.
It's
What if
in
we threw
fact-
this in?
In fact, this is not any kind of statue. This is a statue of Primrose, the bard, who before dying imbued his own solidifying body with inspiration magic. He is now a magical item. We can trade.
So, Pakamsi's face is switching between a little bit of fear at Imril's threat and then hope at your guys' promise of this statue. And he starts regarding Primrose's elegant, inspiring pose. Well, this is very interesting because this statue here is actually quite marvelous. It's quite lifelike. It's very beautiful. This halfling is, well, he is indeed
was-
inspiring.
He was very powerful at inspiring.
I could probably get a good amount of coin for this here statue. Oh, very well then. I think we can still make a deal. If you throw in the statue of the unfortunate halfling, plus the statue of this cobra, then I give you a reward. Deal?
Deal
200
There's-
gold and the 3 magic items?
Absolutely. I am a man of my word.
Guys, before we make the deal, let's see the magic items because this man is not.
Yeah, we
I
can
don't
see.
feel that. Yeah, it might be a lucky penny. You know, that's what I'm saying.
I have here 3 of the most powerful magic items ever created in all of the multiverse.
Show us.
And he pulls out underneath the counter 3 packages, wrapped up and tied together, and he slides them across the counter. Please open them and see how awesome these things are. This is beautiful. Please, 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 I want to see the looks on your faces.
Okay, well, you can see the looks on our faces, but I think you should open them.
That's not how it works, please. Oh.
While it was a negotiation, I'm quickly loving myself at the height of Primrose, or well, what's left of Primrose. I know you can't hear me anymore right now, but no thing. Your song you did, I will make sure it is known in all orc tribes. You will be famous through the ages.
What about the packages? Is anybody going to open them?
I don't open packages. You open them for us, Poughkeepsie, whatever your name is.
So Poughkeepsie, very dejectedly, not very happy, opens the packages, and you can see within there are 3 cloaks. And you see here the most powerful magic items in all of the multiverse. We have here 3 cloaks of displacement. You should count your blessings, my friends. There's nobody else ever that will receive these magic items ever. Only you 3.
Please tell me, Mr. Anapu, I am not familiar with the Cloak of Displacement. What will it do for me?
Oh, it makes you practically unhittable. Nothing can touch you at all, and it causes great consternation to the deities above, who rant and rave at every opportunity about them. This is a very horrible thing. These are very
I suggest
powerful.
you put one on, and I'll try to hit you. How about it?
Oh,
Just to test it, to make sure it's working.
oh, a test! A test! I see. Well, I suppose we could do that. He puts one on, and you see his whole body begin to shift and wave before you, and you can barely see where he is. It's very confusing. And if you'd like to strike at him, it's you have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Well, that's okay. I'm impressed by what it's doing. Okay, I'll take one.
Okay. Well, he takes it off and he says, "Well, you can take 3 of them."
Yeah,
Well, I
let's
only
make
need
the
one.
deal.
Well, you
No,
take
0 are
one.
for us, idiot.
This one takes one, and the dwarf takes the other one. Why do I have to explain this?
I take the one that he had on.
Okay, yeah, you take it. It's definitely magical. It tingles with magical energy. The hairs over your body stand on end. It is clearly an artifact of immense power.
Let's go back and see that snake lady.
I'll check one of the other ones.
Same. I'm not putting it on right now, but I'm taking it.
All 3 of them appear to be the same. Very, very powerful magic items at the artifact level.
So now that we have the cloaks, what about our money?
Well, we can handle one of the statue, the cobra or
yes.
the halfling. He gives us the money, we give the second part.
Oh, yes, of course, of course, of course. And he passes across the pouch full of coins. It's got 200 gold pieces in it. You see, Poughkeepsie Anapo is a man of his word, am I not?
You are a man of your word. Yes.
Absolutely. And now, here you are at level 3, and you each have magic items that have been outlawed in all of my games. Congratulations.
What about that weasel?
Oh, yes, the weasel. All right. Congratulations, you guys. You have successfully retrieved the Cobra statue, and you have been rewarded with the most powerful magic items ever created in all of D&D. Well done.
Thank you.
Your sacrifice won't be forgotten, Primrose.
I'm going to put my cloak over Primrose and shed a small tear.
Joke's on you guys. I gotta outlive you now.
Oh, that's right. He is now eternal. He has
Yeah,
become
because well, I'm also petrified, so I'm technically in stasis. If some wizard finds me and fixes me, then I gotta come back.
Yes. All right. Very good, you guys. Well, thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, even though some of you died. But you all got cool magic items. There's always
That
that.
was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait to wake up on Eberron. Have a town named after me.
Yes. All right, sweet. I'm gonna pop over to the stream and we're gonna raid somebody. You guys are welcome to stay on the call and we'll do a quick little wrap up after I throw a raid up, or you can take off, your choice. But I'm gonna pop over and do a raid real quick here with everybody else. So. All right, let me get my screen over here.
It was a very cool party too. We had a very great balanced team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had to take all the damages and the rest of us to do the rest.
All right, folks. Cool. I hope you enjoyed the one shot, and I'm gonna go over here to Twitch, and we're gonna find somebody to raid. I did my absolute best with that Medusa at the end there to slaughter them, but sadly, it was not meant to be. Give me a hot second here, and I'm gonna find. I'm gonna browse here. Who is on? Browse D&D. I'm going to show you my screen here. Let's find somebody to raid. Oh, here we go. Let's do these guys right here. Hero Club. All right, give me a hot second. We'll raid these people.
What is? I don't know what a raid is. Does anybody know what a raid is?
Yeah, that's when I take all of my viewers and we go dump them in somebody else's channel.
Got it.
All right, I'm starting the raid up, folks. Go ahead and jump in.
I'm putting the Twitch on my wall on my phone because of the bug I have.
Okay. All right, here we go. Raid. All right, go raid.